So we kind of pick up from last session on the morning after kind of Dirk's funeral pyre. You guys kind of wake up quite early. Trish, you kind of have a momentary panic attack before realizing that the kind of a maw staring down at you is attached to a very dead wormling.
Great way to start a day.
Waking up to see this kind of like, mouth full of teeth. Bit unnerving, but you quickly remember it was kind of Titus's gift to you. You can kind of see in the bunkhouse that kind of down at the other end, you've got Yenver and Sarstir who are kind of still asleep, clearly taking the time to recuperate from their ordeal. But you can kind of see the first kind of rays of sunshine starting to kind of filter through the door. Kind of cracks between the frame and the actual door itself. Won't be long now until people start getting up and about. Tarek, are we brewing up potions?
I think we will do, yeah. Oh! 2 number 6s! Eureka! That's a big eureka.
Yeah, Dawn, you hear in the bunk next to you the kind of standard Eureka! Eureka!
I've done it again! Safari!
You kind of see down at the other end of the bunkhouse, kind of Yenva starts awake, quickly winces and kind of grabs her abdomen. I hear some elven profanities coming down the bunkhouse, but it doesn't seem that Torek's taken any notice of them.
I feel the same way, do not worry. In Elvish.
Mm-hmm. Just tell the little shit to do it outside.
Oh, believe me, I have tried many times. He is alone to himself.
By now, of course, everybody's kind of woken up by this. So you kind of head outside, kind of see out in the courtyard the kind of stained kind of burn on the grounds from where the pyre was, but most of the ash has kind of settled or been blown away in the night's wind. It's a quite heavy atmosphere over the fort. From what you can tell, everybody you can see is kind of going about their morning in a kind of fairly hushed manner. Although it isn't long before you kind of start to hear the kind of whoosh of the bellows starting to forge up, and you can see that Horus is just about to kind of get on with his day. But as you're kind of gathering, you see Hirok walking over the bridge from his hall, and he kind of greets you all. Morning. Good to see you up. Thought you would have taken a bit longer, given the circumstances, but it's no bad thing. Now, I know you've been through a lot recently, but we've been quite busy lately as a guild, and I can't really afford to have you laying about. I've got a job lined up for you if you're interested.
What does it involve?
Well, this one's looking like it might be quite an easy way to make some money and influence. Came in from the Elefari Empire not too long ago, down in Illyris. You might know of them, the House of Irunin. They need some people to go and check up on a delinquent nephew who's run away. I said that we'd help them out on it. Rulin, you would kind of know that House of Ronin are kind of the lords of Illyrist. They're quite a big political player in the Elefari Empire. Kind of the same hereditary family that you were kind of born into.
Yeah. Well, we could look into it, I suppose. Do they suspect foul play?
They don't know what to expect. They haven't told me anything anyway. They just said that they've got some minor family member who's run off and they need him found.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll tell you more about it, but well, I don't need to tell you about how paranoid some of these elven nobles can be.
No, certainly not. We have interest in Illyrist anyway, so it would suit us to take this contract, I suppose.
Very well. If you do happen to pop in to check on Equinial and he's up and about, send him my regards.
Of course.
He kind of nods to you and kind of pushes past you and makes his way towards the bunkhouse. You suspect he's going to go and check on the other two.
We should kill this Hydra that killed Dirk.
Well, possibly at some point, Titus, a Hydra is nothing to take lightly.
Perhaps our priorities should lie within the guild. I mean, killing the Hydra will only give us a revenge factor. I think maybe it's better we make ourselves monetarily useful. What does everyone else think?
I think this is a good excuse for us to go to Illyrist. We need to try and see Equinial and visit that library. This is as good an excuse as any.
I agree. I think that's probably the best path to take. Come back for that Hydra later if we're still alive.
Oh, fine.
You can clearly see the disappointments kind of etched into Titus's kind of his face as you suggest this.
Sorry, Titus.
Oh,
Avenging a clan member is kind of a big thing in Goliath culture, so that's going to be a grudge that I dare say will stand.
Well. So, I suggest if anyone needs to prepare any equipment before we go, we get to it.
Titus gonna sulk to the armorers and get some more javelins.
Mm-hmm. So you walk into the by now very familiar smithy, and Eurus kind of gives you a nod. Here to lend a hand, Titus.
No. We want to go on silly talking quest again.
Well, that's what I like about my job. All it is hitting things.
Oh.
But then, if you're going to be talking, what do you need with my steel?
Titus need new spears.
Well, I can definitely hook you up. Got a few stored away in the armory. How many do you need, lad?
Just the two.
Go on, go in. You know where they are. Go fetch them for me. A bit busy at the moment. You can kind of see that he's kind of got his tongs in hand and there's some kind of hot metal in them, so he's clearly wanting to get that to work for it cool.
Cool. Titus will just grab him and then, like, leave some coins.
So you kind of plop down what you think is a reasonable price. So how much would some be? Just for your own
Let's say
notes?
5.
Say 5.
And he just plops him down and then sort of heads out.
He'll rest as you leave. Titus, my lad. That's great for 1, but you said you were having 2.
Oh! Titus cannot count. And then
I know that.
he just puts down more.
Mm-hmm. So subtract 10 gold from your inventory and replace those 2 javelins. Well, good luck to you, lads. Hopefully you won't be bored senseless.
They want to go reading.
Silly elven nonsense, if you ask me.
Oh. And I'll just head out and rejoin everybody.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else going to be doing a bit of stock taking?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get some arrows, so I'm guessing that'd be the quartermaster.
Yep, quartermaster would have a stock of arrows.
Fantastic.
So yeah, you kind of go. You go into the kind of quartermaster's shop. And even though it's early, you can kind of see that Herodias is kind of there, and he's kind of arranging some stuff on shelves. You can't quite see what over the counter. Morning, Havel. What can I do for you?
Good morning. I am in need of some of those pointy fly things.
Well, as it just so happens, I happen to have a whole array of pointy flying things. Let me go and fetch them for you. How many do you need?
Perfect. I will need 9 to fill my quiver.
Alrighty.
And while you're at it, do you remember those explosive ones the midget made?
Yes, I remember selling him a few components.
Do you happen to have any of those lay about?
I'm sure I can probably find a few bits and pieces in my alchemical pots.
Perfect. If you wouldn't mind, I could have enough for 5, please.
So he kind of goes into his little storeroom, and again you hear the rumbling of kind of items being kind of pushed and pulled about. Sounds like he's kind of really rummaging for a chest, quite large proportions, but it doesn't take him too long. He comes back and places kind of 9 arrows on the counter, and then a few kind of small leather pouches, which kind of emit a fairly hideous odor. You take as meaning they can only be potent alchemical ingredients. This will be 9 gold for the arrows and 20 for the components.
Boom. There you go.
Perfect. Happy hunting, and may they serve you well.
Thank you, and you have a splendid day.
Oh, I will, he says, and you can kind of see that he's got some sort of imp thing that he's kind of busy preparing to, you presume, stuff and mounts, but do something.
I'll ask the questions.
I was thinking the taxidermy sense, but it's Herodias. Who knows? Cool. So you have those to your inventory. Take away the 29 gold.
Will do, and then I will just join it with everyone else.
Torek, any supplies? I know you're usually one of our keen shoppers.
Yes, I would like to head back to the jeweler's and buy me a small ruby.
Jewelers was not in KRM, Jewelers was in Bayford.
Ah, yes, it was, wasn't it? And there is not going to be a Jewelers in KRM, is there?
It's a very kind of niche industry and one unlikely to find much use in a monster hunting fortress.
No.
We are about to head to the big city.
That's true.
I shall save my spending months.
Titus, get on midnight train going anywhere. So yes, you assume will be possibility to buy such an item in Alerist.
Fantastic.
Okay, Rulin will visit the armourer. And sorry.
No, I was just going to kind of describe Dulc's workshop, but if you've got...
Actually, no, sorry. Well, the quartermaster. He wants to buy a longbow. The quartermaster, I guess.
Yeah, quartermaster's probably going to be the place to go for that. So as kind of Havel leaves, kind of arrows in hand, kind of passing on the stairs and make your way in. Oh Christ, going to have a busy day if this is how it starts.
Well, with the way things are going recently, I'm feeling it's better to be well stocked.
Words to live by, my friend. What can I do for you?
It's about time I added some range. I'm looking for a longbow.
Longbow, you say? Let me see. I think I've got some of those in stock. Let me see. And he kind of goes over to a cupboard and opens it and see a few different kind of bows hung up on the wall. What takes your fancy? We have a kind of a traditional yew longbow. We've got a bit of a recurve one here, but that's a bit shorter than your longbow. I don't know if that's what you're really after. Why don't you come take a look? He kind of shows you these bows. You got a few kind of reasonably sturdy looking short bows in there. Kind of this longbow he's pointing out stands a good kind of like 2 feet longer than the rest of. You can see from the way the strings kind of constructed, it's quite sturdy. And then finally at the end of the row, you've got this kind of like recurve bow, which it's kind of like the halfway house between the two. It's got these kind of like horn, you think, attachments to the limbs. Now, I'm assured that although it's unconventional, this is still a very potent weapon. In fact, a lot of archers apparently prefer it.
Rulin knows his bows, I guess, coming from the elven background. I mean, they're taught from
you will.
The moment they
have
can walk,
lessons. Yorsif will have told you kind of very well in their use.
Yeah. So the recurve, because from a metagame point of view, short bow is 1d6, long bow is 1d8. What would a recurve be?
Recurve B would basically be a +1 short bow.
+1 short bow. I mean, I'm proficient in both. I don't see the point why I wouldn't take a longbow. That's what. Nah, mind you. Well, Rulin, he likes the look of the recurve bow. It's a bit out of the ordinary. It's a bit unusual, something he's never seen before. So he'll give it a go.
So as you kind of pick this, you can see that it's reasonably heavy. You can see that a kind of a horn attachment has added some weight. But you kind of pull the string back a few times and test the kind of draw weight of it. And you can feel that despite being smaller than the longbow, it still has quite a hefty draw to it. You kind of know that this would be reasonably powerful, but kind of as you twist and turn to try and see how well it aims. You realise it doesn't really slow you down too much, and you reckon that you could probably be fairly mobile while firing this thing. Yes, I had that come in from a trader who stopped by a few weeks back. Says it's a weapon from up north, but to be honest, I wouldn't really know. It's not my area of expertise.
It's quite a remarkable weapon. How much?
Well, let's see. I think I could probably give it to you for 200.
I have no reason to guess he's trying to rip me off, but that advantage on merchant checks,
Insight checks, yeah.
Is it specifically only if someone's trying to rip me off, or is it like to see if I could possibly get it any cheaper? You know,
To see if you're getting it cheap. If you
get it,
it's basically to see if you know the market value, basically.
All right, okay. Can I do that?
It's not related to their intent, so just basically an insight with advantage.
Oh, okay, I'll give it a try. Oh. So that's 15.
It seems fair.
Okay. 200 gold. But I want to get the iridium upgrade. Yeah.
Oh, but +1 short bow though, Cal. How much do you have and / need?
I've got enough, but then
sick.
it'll put me behind on wanting me to get my iridium blade.
I don't know what Titus is spending his money on, but he needs to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
What idiot
Stills
is spending
mostly.
Titus's money?
How much for trading in my 7 kunai?
We'll tell you what. If you give me those, I'll swap you the arrows for them.
Deal.
So he
We have 2 people in the trees.
so he kind of takes your money off of you and kind of goes back to fetch the 20 arrows to accompany the bow. So you kind of string this over your shoulder and take the arrows with you.
Okay. So that's a
Alright.
short bow. It's a +1 short bow then.
+1 short bow, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So Shug, while this is all going on, you're kind of taking in your surroundings, still being reasonably new here. You're kind of surprised to see the little microcosm that is Karemwen. It's kind of similar to a lot of kind of castle towns you've seen before, just less crowded. The kind of smithy and kind of storehouse are reminiscent of any defensive fortress the world over. But it's still quite an experience to be in one of these places of legend. You kind of start to kind of maybe feel the inspiration of a bit of a kind of song or saga forming. You start to wonder whether you could perhaps make your name from telling the tales of these people.
Definitely. Sounds good. Is there so are there any other like bards in Caro and Enron?
No, not really. It tends to be a discipline that doesn't really lend itself well to the solitary life of the monster hunters. Most bards kind of ply their trade in the cities, where they can usually make a much safer living.
Can I actually go to the quartermaster as well, though?
Yeah, sure.
Ah.
So, just as Rulin's kind of coming out with his nice new recurve bow, you kind of nod to him, get past. See this kind of tiefling look up at you. I know, yours is a face I don't recognise. I'm Heradius. Nice to meet you.
Shug, I've just joined your guild. I'm a bronze member. Was it bronze you said?
Yes, bronze. So you kind of you proudly flash your bronze badge at him, and he kind of nods knowingly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Well, come here if come to me if you need supplies.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could just buy 2 hand axes I'm after? Yeah, hand axes.
Let me see. I've got a couple that Eurus made the other day. Let me go and fetch those for you. So he kind of goes to this kind of same weapons cupboard and kind of pulls out a little drawer at the bottom and removes 2 hand axes from them. They look quite big in his hands. But he plops them down on the table in front of you. Now, these 2 beauties are made right here in Karen when you won't find finer. I can assure you of that. But because you're a guild member, I'll let you have them for 75 gold apiece.
75 gold apiece.
As I said, they're very well made.
I'm sure, but if you got okay. I wasn't even looking at the thing. Okay, that's a lot more than I thought they'd be. Any chance of them being any lower? Being a new guild member and all, I'm just off from just wandering around, so I don't exactly have much to my name.
Well, sorry, I'm afraid goodwill doesn't keep the guild running. Don't worry, chap, though. There's plenty of opportunity to make a name and the associated gold that comes with it.
This is true. I'll be making the guild's name, don't you worry. I'll bring in plenty more money in the future.
Well, I'll be here looking forward to it when you do.
Yep. And I walk out. Cool.
Your player's handbook price lines have no power here.
Yeah, that's literally what I was looking at. It was while everyone else was in the QMs. I was just like, I'm just going to look through the player's handbook, so I could do some like throwing weapons. Oh, look, 5 gold. That'd be fine. Never
Yes,
mind.
the economy works in a somewhat different way in this setting.
It's
Not to
fine.
mention that the kind of dangerous setting of the world tends to push the price of weapons up.
Yeah, fair. Fair enough.
So you kind of leave the quartermaster's shop a little bit disheartened and feeling quite poor. But as he says, there's definitely going to be an opportunity to make yourself some money.
Cool.
Alrighty. So, I guess that leaves Yendel and Triss. Anything you guys want to do?
Nothing for Yendorn.
Mm-hmm.
Did we rest after?
Yes, you
yeah.
kind of had your sleep last night, so you'll have had a long rest.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Alright.
Nothing for Triss. I'm assuming that there's probably nowhere in Karen where she can get a tentacle for a giant squid or octopus.
It's not really something you would keep lying around.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, yeah, nothing for me then.
Raises all sorts of questions, but okay.
Those 4th level spells, things are getting good.
If you're thinking of components, you'll have your focus.
I didn't even look at
Oh,
them.
can I use my focus instead of components?
Yep.
Oh, great, I don't need to carry around bits of tentacle, that's awesome.
Now I'm really concerned. Like, what is she planning?
Yeah, Triss is probably just going to have a chill time, watching things happen. Maybe see if there's any news for anything else happening from any of the other guys floating around. See if she can pick up any information about what's been going on.
So you kind of wander over to Yenva and Sarstir are kind of recuperating. They're awake and kind of chatting, so you kind of just slot yourself in. They kind of tell you a little bit about the contract they were just on and the one that they were on with Dirk and how this kind of the Hydra, the size of which they've never seen, kind of just burst in the middle of this battle and very nearly killed them. And they kind of talk about, the state of the guild and everything, and one of them mentioned that Hrox kind of lined up a new kind of batch of initiates to join at some point soon. And they kind of say that they probably need them. But he quickly starts to kind of get the impression that they just really want to rest today, so you don't kind of push on it. And you kind of go outside and rejoin everybody who's now kind of gathered in the central courtyard.
I think Titus would be complaining to Yendorn and Rulan and Torek probably as Triss is coming back over. Why do we have to go read this book?
It's better to know your enemy before you fight him, Titus.
I know that if I smash, he die. Oh.
Not always the case, sadly.
I mean, look at those hounds we keep fighting. And the first time we fought them, we stabbed them, we kicked them, we shot them, we burned them, and then they just disappeared, and then they came back again. If we can know more about them, then we can know how to permanently kill them.
I do not like these puppies.
No, they're not nice.
Oh, fine, we go read.
Okay. So then, if that's everything that everybody wants to do, I guess time to hit the road.
So do we still have horses?
Yes, yeah, you've still got horses.
Cool.
Okay.
Does Shug have a horse?
Shug could probably ride with Torek, just because one horse for Torek is a bit overkill.
Yeah.
So you're not already
The real question is, who's the big spoon?
Just Shug, just like wearing Torek as a backpack for the whole time.
Oh, before we set out as well, the contract, how much is it for?
So the contract to investigate is worth 1,000 gold pieces. You suspect that Rock is kind of using this as kind of a way to get in with this noble.
Sure.
The whole do a good job and more jobs will follow kind of logic.
Yeah, Hunter.
Yeah, I missed that. So yeah, what's the?
We're getting 1,000 gold for the contract. So this is. It's a hard world, but man, people need the hunters, so we're getting good money for what we do.
So what's the quest?
You went here for it. Oh, let's Rulan explain.
There's a young noble boy, a nephew of one of the great families in the Elithari Empire, who's run away or gone missing. They want us to investigate. Find where he's gone and bring him back. Illyrist, as it happens.
Okay, I can do that.
Exactly where we need to go.
Ah, isn't fate a funny thing?
Who is it? What was the name of the family
What
again?
are the chances?
It's almost like it was destined to happen. So the house was House of Ronin.
House? How are you spelling it?
Eronin.
As long as it's not Salthold, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Boss nephew, right?
Runaway nephew.
Cool.
That kind of strikes a bit personal with Rulan, but
I'll might face some difficult choices. Okay, so you guys kind of mount up and kind of head out. The gates are kind of opened for you, and a few of the hunters kind of wave you off and wish you luck. So you kind of head south straight away from Care Emlyn. You follow a little bit of a road for a while, but after a few miles, it kind of peters out to kind of more of a dirt track. So you guys trot along, usually fine. So you're a bit kind of complacent almost, but it turns out to be okay. So you kind of keep going for a couple of days. As the miles pass, you kind of feel the climate start to get kind of considerably warmer, and the vegetation around you kind of goes from the deciduous forests that you're used to and kind of starts turning into a much more kind of hot and humid kind of rainforest, and
that's cool.
the vegetation becomes a lot thicker. It's not something that you're completely unfamiliar with. And you've all obviously heard stories of other hunters about it, but it's quite unnerving not being able to see more than 15 feet into the woods on either side of you. You're kind of put on edge a little bit by this. As you kind of camp for nights, you hear all sorts of kind of calls and cries from the kind of the woods out of sight, but you keep vigilant. You don't light any fires, and nothing bothers you. So you get to Illyris in 4 days. Titus and Shug, this is kind of quite uncomfortable heat for you guys, having kind of been acclimatized to the kind of frigid Northlands.
Mm-hmm.
But very, very soon you'll be at Illyris, and as you get closer, you can see that the kind of the elves have been quite industrious over the past however many millennia. They've cut quite a large clearing from a lot of the forest around the cities, and you can see as the kind of forest fades, the city rises in front of you, but for thousands of acres, you estimate, the land has been cleared and pastures are kind of in place. Titus, you see cows in the fields. You also see kind of little fluffy dog, kind of white fluffy dogs, lots of them.
What is this? What is these clouds?
Those would be sheep.
Sheep is. Oh.
So you continue down these now kind of established roads again, and you can see a few kind of elven workers in the fields. Mostly, it seems, shepherds or herdsmen of some sort or other. They kind of stop and watch as you pass. You get the impression they're used to seeing hunters. After all, the Elefari Empire do pay good money to kind of keep their farms and pastures protected. But you carry on, and it doesn't take you long to kind of reach the walls of Illyris. Unlike Bayford, however, these walls are kind of a gleaming white stone, taller as well. You can kind of see up atop the kind of crenellated battlements, designed to resist sieges as well as passing monsters. You can already see the kind of difference in wealth here. Despite Bayford being the capital of Parfunis, Illyris has many more kind of rising spires and kind of large buildings that you can even see over the wall. But as you kind of approach, you see the same kind of magical warding carved into the gate.
It is a sight to behold.
Rulen, of course, will be familiar with this kind of architecture, having been kind of born and raised amongst it. But for those of you kind of whose first time seeing a city of the Empire, it's really quite an impressive sight to behold. It's definitely a step above the architecture of man. But as you draw to the gates, you see two guardsmen, kind of with their halberds, kind of step forward to meet you. Hail, travellers! What brings you to Illyris?
We have business with the House Aronin.
They kind of seem to look to each other at this. You must be the hunters. Yes, we were told to expect you. Do you know the city?
Do I? Have I been here before?
You might have visited it. It wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. Perhaps a banquet or something. You accompanied your father.
I can find my way to the house. Thank you.
Hard to miss, really. Just head to the big palace in the centre.
Yes.
They kind of draw their halberds back up to a right position, no longer barring the gates, and stand aside to let you pass. And as you enter the city, kind of the first thing that strikes you is just the difference in population between here and Bayford. Compared to the kind of sprawling streets, there seem to be remarkably few people here. It's still busy, but there are, a few meters between people, whereas that would be very uncommon in kind of poorer districts of Bayford.
Titus is going to try and ride up next to Rulen and then try and whisper to him like he's found something out, as if he's really excited. He just goes, "Rulen, these little people look like you and Yennefer."
Yes. We are in the Elven Empire after all.
But there are so many.
Yes, Titus. Just like there are humans in the northeast and dwarves in the northwest, there are elves in the south.
Are they friendly like you and Yennefer?
Some of them. Just be wary in this place, Titus. Be careful what you say. These people, they're not... They seem small, but they can be deceiving.
But you and Yennefer are not deceiving.
We're the good ones.
Oh.
So as you guys continue to ride up the street, you could see that you're drawing a lot of attention. Kind of this convoy of kind of, for Illyris, very, very roughly dressed travelers, kind of weapons on show. So you kind of get a few looks. You hear people kind of whispering. You hear the word hunters, slayers, stuff like that. And people kind of give you a bit of a wide berth. But you kind of continue unmolested. Kind of Rulen leads the way. And sure enough, you kind of come to this a long driveway leading to this palatial structure. It definitely looks like the right place.
Well, everyone, Croc is wanting to seek their favour, so best behaviour, everyone. And they'll approach the main gate, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So same thing happens. You kind of approach, and the guards kind of stop you in your tracks. But as you tell them that your hunters summoned by House of Ronin, they kind of let you pass. And as you kind of walk inside, you realise that this kind of what is really a regional governor's house, and it has the same kind of level of wealth on display as the palace you saw in Bayford. Clearly been built to impress. There are kind of busts of what you assume to be famous members of the household, kind of all around the outer gardens, and the architecture is kind of a very similar kind of white stone, very regal in construction. Lots of these kind of big pillars built to kind of really show off the owner's status. But you're led inside. A kind of servant points you into the main hall, where kind of sat up on a not quite a throne, but definitely very ornate chair. You see an elf kind of sat down, kind of hands kind of on the armrests, leaning in towards you. So these are the hunters for Care Enwyn that I've heard about. Come, let me see you up close. He kind of gets up and kind of walks down from a little plinth and kind of walks over you. He's quite tall for an elf. He kind of stands at about Titus's shoulder. So a bit taller than everybody else, but he kind of gives you guys a bit of a judging look up and down. He says, well, you certainly look like you've geared up for violence. I'm hoping that won't be needed, but, well, I don't need to tell you about this world.
No.
Okay, well, the niceties, I suppose, aren't something that concern you, so I'll get straight to it. My little shit of a nephew has gone and run away, and I cannot afford to lose him. His father is an asshole. He's one I need.
Is this in Elvish or Common?
He's talking in Common. He is kind of assuming that you won't all speak Elven.
Okay, cool.
Which is actually quite good of him. It would be. It wouldn't be too uncommon for an Elven noble to just ignore the rest of you and talk to Rulin and Yendon. He talks to all of you in common. You see, Illyris is mine by birthright, but I need the support of my extended family, and they have other plans for it. So, as a favour to them, I've promised that I will send people to look for their little delinquent. Frankly, I don't care much for the little bastard, and if he turns up dead, I won't hold it against you. But I need to at least make the effort to try. Scouts have reported seeing somebody dressed well, too well for your average citizen, fleeing westwards towards the little peninsula to the northwest of here, and I'll point out for you on the map later. We suspect it's him. I don't really care bringing him back, but you just need to be seen leaving here, and I'm sure they'll have people watching you, so go out, search for him a little bit. Then if you find him, I'll give you a little bonus too, because that will no doubt stand me in even better stead. But if he resists or threatens you, I don't care what you do. How's that sound to you? I've already arranged the price with your guild master, but performing this task well for me, and I might be tempted to throw in a little something extra for your troubles.
That sounds manageable.
It's very generous of you. So, what can you tell us about the boy?
Well, from what I've heard, he was never really interested in statesmanship or statecraft. His studies apparently were more of a chore for his instructors than they were for him. Bright, definitely bright, but unruly. Unfitting to be a noble in our house, I'll tell you that much. But he's not experienced in the world yet. He's still relatively young. I'm sure it'll be easy to track him down.
Any particular reason why he would have run away?
Well, I don't know. Lots of reasons, I guess, could be that he just doesn't want this life. People in our house tend to be quite unpopular in the city, and he has a bit of a bleeding heart, I'm told.
I see. Oh, what's his name?
His name is... Quickly grabs out the name generator. His name is Gopher Neronin.
Is
Gopher.
what?
Gofan. Gofan.
Gofan!
Maybe he ran away because he was bullied for his name. His parents were quite good.
Sorry if I missed it as well, but what was the lord's name?
For fuck's sake, why you gotta do me like this, Cal?
Come on, we need names.
His name is Lord Aronin, and you shall address him as such. Insolent peasant. I should have you cast from my house.
Okay.
Note to self, write all the names.
Just in case. So the scouts reported him to the west.
So he kind of tells you roughly where he is, and it comes somewhere to this kind of little, not quite peninsula, but the coast up Illyris. It's not far, it's about a day's travel.
Okay.
Well, if you're up for that, then I'll bid you good luck and maybe dismiss. He kind of gestures with his hand and kind of waves you towards the door.
Okay.
Clearly doesn't want to be dealing with common slayers any longer than he needs to.
No. So we'll head to the door.
So the servant's waiting to lead you back out, and they kind of escort you off the grounds. By now it's kind of mid-afternoonish. The streets are reasonably busy. You can kind of hear some hustle and bustle of kind of a city in its closing hours. Shops are still open, but you can, I guess, the shopkeepers are probably looking forward to heading home.
Shouldn't we find a Quinel?
It's yes, we should check in on him while we're here. That's Rockast.
So, whilst this kind of palace takes up the central part of the city, it's not actually the largest building here, and very visible to you are kind of the great spires of the kind of the Imperial College of Magi. So the Illifaria kind of famed for having first tamed magic. And that's a fact they're very proud of. And the tradition has been kept alive in the Empire by this great institute you now see before you. Torek, you would know that this is kind of the organisation that owns the kind of the great library here.
Ah, okay.
And so, Aquiniel was being seen to where?
Yes,
Was
yeah,
it at the library? Or?
it was with the major.
Right, okay, I'm with you. Unless anyone has any business they'd like to see to in the city, we could head up and check in on Aquiniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Titus looks back fondly at one of the pubs. Okay.
So these
I'll get some free
Titus-
drinks later, Titus.
Oh!
Okay, so you kind of make your way over to this kind of central tower that kind of leads onto the rest of the compound. And there's kind of a doorway, but you can't see anybody manning it as such. It's quite a thick oaken door. By the looks of it, looks quite sturdy.
I'll approach the door and look for a knocker.
So you kind of approach the door and see in the middle is kind of a brass knocker shaped like a lion's head. And as you reach out to kind of take the ring and knock, yeah, halt. State your name and business. Seems a bit emitted from the lion's mouth.
Trisk has detect magic.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's magic. So
It is indeed
Yeah.
magic, at
She
least
kind of
Lord
wants to know
Major.
if she can figure out what it is. It's pretty exciting.
It's a glyph of some sort. Seems that this is a fairly low end bit of magic to save somebody having to actually answer the door.
Lazy fucker.
It's the oldest kind of magic. It's lazy magic. My name is Rulin, and I'm here to see Aquiniel. He's in your care. I'm with my party from the Order of the Shattered Fang.
Your request is being relayed. Please hold. You start to hear faint harp music coming from the lion's mouth.
While this is going on, Trish is going to get right up in its business and have a look and see if she can figure out a little bit more about what's going on. She wants to know if
you
she
look
can steal this
you look
idea.
inside its mouth. You can't see any moving parts. It just looks to be solid brass. Nothing really gives the game away. But you kind of wait for a few moments more. Kind of harp music starts wearing on your patience a little bit. You get the occasional. Your visit is important to us. Please hold.
While we're waiting, can I use the identify ritual?
Yep. So you cast identify, and it is a door knocker.
Damn.
I play my drum
Well
along to the
observed.
beat of the whole music.
So Shug starts kind of improving a bit. It makes it a little bit better. It's kind of a bit mindless though. It doesn't seem to have any real kind of character to it. It just seems to
Remix!
be. Then you kind of hear the hello, you still there?
No, we've gone.
Yes. Yes, still waiting.
You say you're the hunters, yes?
correct?
Yes, we've got one of yours up here with us. Come in, and you kind of hear a little click, and the door kind of creaks open. He's up on the 4th floor, stairs to your right. So you guys kind of see ahead this kind of corridor leading into this kind of big open courtyard. You can see there are a few people kind of sat around, a lot of them reading books or scrolls or otherwise busy. But there's a kind of a spiraling staircase going up this tower, not far to your right.
Straight to the stairs, I guess.
Head up, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of
Sorry,
travel. Carry on.
I've told this is the 4th floor.
So you kind of carry on up these stairs. It seems that the college doesn't seem to abide by the rest of the city's working times, and you can kind of hear a lot of activity kind of going on. And as you kind of go up the floors, you kind of start to get the impression that maybe this isn't the pristine institute it likes to be. It seems that there's a lot of kind of noise and commotion coming from a lot of these floors. But you reach the 4th floor, and it kind of leads out into kind of a rather impressive looking room that's largely clear, bar for a kind of string of beds running down one of the walls. A lot of them are empty. A few of them have a few elves in, but kind of towards the middle you can see a Quiniel kind of lying down next to kind of the figure sitting in a chair next to him. Is got the figure of a dwarf. So as he approaches, he kind of hears, he turns. You recognise him. It's his a slayer from KRM, when dwarf by the name of Meldir. And as you approach, he kind of greets you. It's nice to see familiar faces around here. Starting to get bored of all these long ears, but no offence, Rulin, Yendorn, Triss. This good of you to pop in, but I'm afraid not much has changed. He kind of looks back to Quiniel, and you can see he's looking quite pale, but other than that, it doesn't appear to be anything kind of physically wrong with him. Yendor, you can't see any obvious kind of wounds or causes of this condition.
Yeah.
The Magi have looked him over, and they're not sure if there's much we can do for him. Or at least that's what they're telling me.
So he's not getting any worse.
Doesn't seem to be. He's not changed much since I've been here for the last couple of days. Proc's been sending us down one at a time to keep someone near just in case. At this point, you kind of hear footsteps from behind you and turn to see this kind of reasonably elderly elf, clad in kind of white robes. You all really need to be elsewhere. Visiting hours are not for a while, and this many of you will just disturb the other patients. He kind of moves to shoo you from the door. Look, if you want to really help him, you'll give him some space and let professionals help him.
What is it that is wrong with him then?
It is a sickness of the spirit. Of what kind, we do not yet know. His body is, from what we can see, perfectly healthy, but he responds to no stimulus. It is likely that he was afflicted by some curse of some description. It will take us time to identify, but we shall. Now, if I must ask you again, I'll have to get security. Please do not make me do this.
We'll go peacefully.
So he kind of shoos you out of this this kind of hospital into a corridor on the other side from where he came out, and it's kind of, you can see that there are some windows kind of overlooking this kind of central courtyard. There's kind of a bit of a heated debate coming from one of the rooms nearby to you. You can't quite hear specifics, but you can hear the kind of raised voices of people inside.
Maybe if I...
What language they're speaking?
Elven.
Dang it.
I
guess my
might
plan.
be able to do something.
Shit.
Oh no. Clara waits 10 minutes. It's too long.
Mayhaps fireball.
What direction is the way out?
The way out would be kind of back through the ward you've just come out of.
Well,
Rulin wouldn't really feel the need to go eavesdropping on anyone, so.
So as you guys are kind of stood there, you kind of see the door into this room kind of burst open, and kind of young elf that comes storming out. It's kind of clad in the same white robes as the elderly chap. So he's kind of muttering under his breath, and he kind of pushes past you all in a bit of a huff, headed back towards the kind of hospital bay.
These elves are not as nice as you and Yenva. They push and rude and mean.
He kind of shoots you daggers as he goes by, but he makes his way back and starts checking on a few of the other elves. You can see him kind of casting what looks to be reasonably similar magic to what you've seen Yendorn cast.
Oh, he is healed, Tooth.
Yes, there are many
nice
who
as our real tooth.
have. There are many who have similar abilities to mine.
Oh,
Perhaps
But-
I could help, sir.
He kind of looks you up and down and kind of sees your little holy symbol. Oh, well, yes, I suppose you could try. I mean, why not? But if you really wanted to help me, you'd go and talk to that damn stubborn Archmagos and change his damn mind.
Change his mind?
He's, don't get me, I don't mean to be disrespectful, he's a talented mage, but he's set in his ways and stubborn. He's assigned the elf over there to seems to be a vegetative state, and he kind of points over to Quiniel because he doesn't want to risk doing the ritual that could save him. He says it's dangerous and that it would be unethical. But I keep telling him that we could definitely do it. We just need the components.
Ooh.
And what components would these be?
Well, I suspect that he's in a magically induced soul split. I think that if we could somehow contact him on that other plane where his soul is, we could potentially lead his spirit back to his body. But it's very old magic. We haven't used it for a while, and the beasts whose components we harvest from is rumored to have been extinct for a while now.
Do an insight check on this guy. See if he's legitimate.
Okay.
10.
It looks like he's generally concerned for his patients. Just wants to help them.
It's just contacting other planes and stuff rings alarm bells for Tia.
Yes, thankfully no one in our party would do such a thing.
It's not so unusual. Some of the brothers in the monastery I studied claim to be able to project their astral selves into the astral plane. So there is some substance to it.
Yes, I've heard of such teachings, but for somebody who has never done this to be hurtled forcefully into such a state, finding their way back would be not impossible. But I think that we could create almost a guiding beacon for him. But as I said, it'll be an old ritual, and
Titus had a night out like this once. Him and Iron Tooth got very drunk, and I threw him.
that's nice.
It was a strange plane we were on, but we found our way home. Nods very wisely.
Okay, I could probably get you some meds if you needed.
Are we back in the room?
You're kind of in the
Aquanel.
in the wards with Quiniel.
Triss is going to try using Awakened Mind to see if she can speak to him.
Okay, so you kind of cast Awakened Mind, and you can't seem to get any response from Quiniel. It's like you're kind of tapping on a hollow shell.
Okay. Cool.
like talking to Titus.
And Trish probably isn't going to advertise this because it seems like a bit of a weird thing to be able to do. She might quietly inform Yendorn what she tried, and that the ritual might have some kind of value because Aquanel might be there, but he's not certainly not there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the doctor says, "Well, I'd be willing to give it a go. I mean, hell, if I can pull this off, I'll make a hell of a name for myself around. But I just don't have the materials. Well, I say that I don't have one of the materials. I've got everything else, but I'm sure you know it's not exactly a matter of popping down to a local market to pick up a Hydra spleen."
Jokes.
Titus
We all
finally
turn and
isn't
look at
bored
Titus.
anymore.
Do we all look into the camera at this point?
Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Oh, does this mean? And looks at Roland.
Well, I got nothing.
First that we're actually contracted to do. We can kill the Hydra on the way home, right?
Yeah, we have heard about Hydra. We might actually be able to manage this one, maybe, as long as we don't die first.
well, yes, there's a certain knack to it, isn't there? Well, that's looking like the only hope this chap has. I mean, if they won't do it, I don't know what they'll do with him. I guess the money keeping him here will have to dry out at some point.
If we can convince the Archmagi that this ritual is worthwhile, then we could get some support provided to help get rid of the Hydra.
Well, you could talk to him. I won't get your hopes up. He's, as I said, stubborn old man.
But we have Triss's charisma score, so
Well, if you wanted to talk to him, his office is through the library. If you go down to the first floor, it's a large section. You won't miss it. It's if anything, just follow the stream of elves with books. You see, his office is through there. I'm sure someone will point you in the right direction once you get nearer.
Let's go have a chat.
We'll go talk to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you kind of make your way back down this spiral staircase, kind of out into this central courtyard. People don't even seem to look up from their studies to acknowledge you. They just kind of keep doing what it is. Titus, there are a lot of people reading here. This must be a very boring place.
oh,
But you kind of come to a kind of a large set of double doors, kind of really ornate frame to it. They're kind of propped open, and as you walk in, you can kind of see kind of bookshelves stacked, kind of about 20 meters into the kind of almost the very roof of this room, and it stretches for a long way. You don't even want to try and guess how many volumes are kind of stored within these walls, but it's definitely been the kind of pride and joy of this order of Magi for quite some time.
Can we see the Archmagi?
Yeah. So you kind of find somebody there and ask them for directions, and they actually lead you there. They don't kind of point you in the right direction. They clearly want to make sure that you don't go tampering with any of their books. But after a few kind of twists and turns down the various rows, you come to this kind of door at the end. And as you go to knock, you hear a "come in" from the other side, and the door opens of its own accord. Inside, you can see that the kind of room is reasonably large, and there's a very, very big desk as kind of a main centerpiece. You can see kind of on the walls there are further bookshelves, and there are kind of scrolls piled up on the floor next to it. Definitely a place of learning. Sat in a chair, again, a very elderly-looking elf, long, thick beard. This guy's robes are a kind of a bright blue. It seems that we have visitors from an order not of our own. Come, it is a rare treat. He kind of gestures for you to come in, and you see 7 chairs just kind of like appear. It's quite an impressive party trick. Titus,
yeah, I still pull out my stool.
yeah, you take great pride in pulling out your own little stool, and you kind of push the offered one out of the way and kind of plonk yours down. Big grin on your face. The old man kind of chuckles a little bit at this. From your attire, I assume that you are the Slayers, here to see the Wizard Aquiniel. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes,
that's yours.
Well, no doubt you'll have already seen his condition.
Yeah, that was something we would like to discuss with you, sir.
Hmm.
Triss is going to switch into Elvish,
Okay.
just as an extra little touch. One of your colleagues explained that you've run out of ideas, but there is a ritual that might help. One with some complicated components.
That'll be Petlamir. His heart's in the right place, but he's still an understudy. He has yet to truly appreciate the gravity of the magic involved.
What about if we happen to come across a Hydra spleen? Would you be more willing to consider the ritual when you had all of the components?
He chuckles a little bit. Well, let's say, for argument's sake, you do happen across a Hydra spleen lying around somewhere, and make it back here with all of your limbs. I would still not consider this ritual, purely because there is a real risk that the beacon that draws in Aquiniel's soul may draw in souls of others. There are many forces that would appreciate such a vessel. I will not give them such an opportunity.
I see.
It is a shame. I know this is hard. I actually studied with Aquiniel at one point. He was a keen learner. It's with regret that I must condemn him to such a fate, but I'm sure that were he here and I were in his stead, it is an agreement that he would also share.
And there's no way of safeguarding against anything going wrong with this ritual?
If there is, it is in a tome that I have yet not read. And trust me, my dear, I have read a lot of these tomes over my many centuries.
Whoa!
Triss is going to turn to Yendorn, like, this. You know more about this than I do, and she's going to temporarily give up.
I am only very inexperienced with sort of interplanar spells myself. So perhaps I also do not quite understand the gravity of any danger that may come through this ritual. But I think, well, as far as we all believe that we should try everything we can to save Aquiniel. He is a great ally for the hunters.
He kind of looks you up and down a little bit, kind of sees that you're a kind of man of the cloth. Well, I will admit, whilst we have our magic, we do not have anything resembling the power of the gods, but they are fickle at best. I would not be able to guarantee you anything, and I'm sure that you cannot, on demand, acquire such a staunch ally for such interplanar affair. If you could find some means of garnishing your deity's favour, perhaps he might stand a chance.
Rulin sort of chimes in. So, to that effect, would you allow us to study in your library and perhaps find some means of doing so?
It would be most unusual, but I will give you access to parts of the library. Not all. As you can imagine, there are works in here that should not be allowed into the wrong hands, and whilst I mean no offence, I do not know you. And besides, if I were to let everybody in who wanted to read a book, I'd have no books left. He kind of gestures for kind of the person who led you in. These visitors may be allowed access to the non-restricted magenta section. See that they are given the guidance they need to find the books thereafter.
Torek rubs his hands together.
Mhm.
Mug smile.
Tyke rubs his temples.
Yeah, Titus, this is not your idea of a fun day out.
Titus keeps looking to Loudtooth and Irontooth, and just keeps looking at him, like waiting for them to say, like,
I'll just mime like a drinking action at him.
and, like covers his mouth.
You hear a shh come from the hall.
Whenever Titus is having to be sneaky, he giggles.
It's all a very big game to Titus. Sneaking is just a prelude to hitting when the sneaking doesn't work. Now then, I wish you a productive evening. You'll find much to consider in these halls. I need not tell you that it's considered a real honor to be allowed access, so it's not something I do lightly. As I said, Aquiniel was a friend of mine. So if you can find something, then I'll reconsider my verdict. If you'll excuse me, I have lectures to prepare. Ooh. So as he kind of stands, the stools kind of disappear again. And the kind of librarian shoos you out of the Magi's office, kind of closes the door behind. Yes, now the magenta section that you're allowed access to is this way. Follow me. Quite a kind of stunty little figure, kind of got a bit of a hunch back. You can guess that he's kind of developed that from just poring over books for, well, who knows how long at this point. But he leads you kind of to a section of a library. And it's kind of the bit closest to the entry. You can see there are books stacked all the way pretty much to the ceiling, and there'll be kind of the big ladders on the rails attached to reach. Now, if you need help finding a specific item, I'll be over there at my desk. Now,
I am looking for Pacific item. Where is and then looks at Shug and Iron Tooth.
The what?
Say again?
On cheese making?
A good pub.
Was that him like trying to think of like something smart to like a clever lie, and then it was just like,
Yeah, and then he just gives up.
The kind of librarian looks at you with, like, you can't be serious. You're in the wonder of the world, the library of Allurist, and you want to go to a pub. Well, looks like the library might be better off without you. Yes, if you leave the tower that way, and he kind of points the direction you came from, take the street down to your right, and on the kind of third alleyway to the left, you'll find an establishment much favoured with a lot of our students.
"Ooh, student bar."
Very well, thank you very much, kind sir. Like, tries
So, yeah, Titus, you kind of just get shushed from like 6 different directions as you say this. But you kind of march on out. I'm guessing Shug and Havel are probably
I'll
not too far
keep an
behind.
eye on him and then follow after.
So, just for the sake of like not splitting the party and making it really difficult for Crispy, and we don't need a. I think for the narrative's sake, this is probably more important.
So you guys make your way to the pub and proceed to enjoy the local brews. The Elven Ale is quite light in comparison to kind of a more rough northern ale. It's a different taste. It's not for everybody's liking, but you get quite merry, and we will come back to you later.
Okay.
So the rest of you kind of stayed in the library. Kind of librarian's gone back to their desk and is kind of busy scribbling something down, kind of leaving you not quite unattended, but probably not as supervised as they really should have left you.
Excellent.
Feel everything.
I'm guessing the rest of us left are probably a little bit excited to get our hands on books.
It's a big opportunity.
Let's get looking.
So,
is there anywhere that looks obvious for us to start?
So you depends entirely on how you want to approach doing this. The library is kind of clearly divided into kind of topic sections.
we've got 2 jobs here, really. One, we need to research how to get Equinial's soul back into his body without doing any damage. And 2, we need to look into Kaftara. We need to try and dig up some...
Might be worth looking at how to kill a Hydra as well.
True.
I mean, don't think any of us have encountered one yet.
Yeah.
No, we're massive.
Well, just a question about the lore of the world. Is there a concept of like the old gods, or is that something we're kind of stumbling across and discovering?
That's something you're really kind of uncovering as you go.
Yeah. Okay.
The kind of the major gods are the kind of the newer ones, and they tend to have just been accepted as the kind of de facto pantheon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Yandorn's quite interested in that, especially at the moment, around, first of all, Kovtara, and second of all, Elidanis/Eliadane.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to look for any sort of the history books, kind of, like deity sort of related origins of deities and such.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of take a look along a few of the shelves, you very quickly find the section devoted to religion. It's reasonably sized, but a lot of the titles seem to be kind of depictions of kind of rituals and kind of holy practices. A lot of it common knowledge, really kind of just kind of narrating how priests go about their duties. A lot of this you would know, and you would have cast a lot of these rituals yourself. But you can't seem to find anything in this section relating to any kind of old gods.
Yeah.
So when the Archmagos gave us permission to go into the library, in the library itself, are there any obvious sort of sections that seem to be locked off, or
you can see that there are definitely kind of bits that are not supposed to be accessed. You can see that there are kind of a few. You can see that there are a few kind of locked, almost like kind of prison doors, locking off certain sectors. They don't seem to be kind of manned, but they seem to have reasonably heavy hardware on the doors.
is there somewhere a rather small creature could slip through?
So these bars are kind of reasonably large. They're built to keep elves out,
So
which might have been an oversight, but they're quite arrogant.
Looks at Torek outside of his eyes. You thinking what I'm thinking, my friend?
Like biting into, one of those snacky nut bars. He's just like minding his own business, eating one of those, and he just looks up like, "What? I was hungry, right?"
You have a habit of getting into places you shouldn't be. What do you make of that? And really little point towards the sort of forbidden section. I wouldn't normally suggest such a thing, but if it means saving a Quinil and perhaps learning more about what the hell's going on, it'll be worth it.
Perhaps. The amulet might give me hidden sight from their magical wards that they're sure to have. But it is quite a risk. Is Triss with us?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of stayed and hasn't gone with her.
Dude, if I was going to say if it's stealing books, I know someone who will fucking be so down.
Yeah, Triss is like frothing with excitement. So much for stealing books.
Yeah, I guess like if the other two wanted me to do it, I'd be like, okay, then yeah, I want to do it too, kind of thing.
To be honest, I'm surprised that Torek's not already halfway through the bars.
Yes, Torek.
Just
you will obviously, as a scholar, be very aware of this library. This is kind of like the holy grail of academia.
Okay.
So, if it's worth knowing, it's in this library.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Come on, let's do it.
Get some heist music on, and first, I'm also going to cast a little spell on myself.
Okay.
I'm going to step up to the bars.
I cast cocaine.
Look back to Roland. And just like open my hand to show this tiny little boomer blade about the size of my palm. And I'm like, what better time for an experiment?
Hold on, before we do anything,
Here comes the voice
before
of
we do
reason.
anything crazy, I've just had a bit of a thought. Probably not going to get us very far. When we stand at the gates, how far can we see, and how much of the books can we see on the spines? Like, can we see any titles that look?
So
helpful?
You guys are kind of standing so that you're looking down the aisles, so you can't really see the kind of spines of the books.
Damn. All right.
But it does stretch quite a way. In fact, you kind of reckon that this is probably the larger part of the library.
Well,
Okay.
how? What's the homunculus's intelligence?
That's a good question that I do not know off the top of my head. Just to say.
And could Triss communicate with it using her awakened mind?
So, I also have
the homunculus has an
mage
intelligence of 10, so
Oh my god!
the
So,
homunculus is smarter than
Smarter than
Titus.
Titus.
And more wise than twice as wise as Torek.
so it could sneak in, read the titles of the books, relay that back to Triss, and then that will let us know which one to steal.
Yeah, he's a creature. Also, if it's within 30 feet, we can just use Mage Hand to pull books off the shelf.
Wait, if all you want to do is to see the names
Yeah.
on the spines, I can do that.
Oh yeah?
What?
Has scrying
Uh,
magic.
Let me check, actually, if it requires materials that I don't have.
Because if we can do something less drastic before throwing Torek through the gated, area, that would be good. If Torek has to go through, then I'd imagine that's a choice that Triss would be willing to make.
This is slightly. You guys are intelligent enough to understand. Like, there might be someone watching you as well.
Yeah. Does anyone have a glass eye, Benny? Anyone's character?
I think everyone just collectively. Everyone just collectively turns and looks at Tarek. Like, if anyone's going to have it.
You think I'm some
That's
kind
what I
of
was gonna say.
cripple? Point up with my missing finger and just go, fair enough.
No, then I can't do it. I can't. Never mind.
Homunculus it is.
Yep.
How observed are we as well?
So it seems that nobody's like actively watching you. The kind of librarian is still at his desk. Everyone else either too far away to really see you or have line of sight, or just busy. They're quite a
Alright.
self-absorbed bunch.
Triss is going to pick up a book off the shelf and stand somewhere so she can see down the gated section, and she's going to pretend to read while this is going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And while it's going on, Yendorn's actually going to look for another book. And,
Okay.
kind of just so we're not all stood around in the same place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to look for a book to do with magic and magical components, just to kind of check out what sort of spells a Hydra's spleen might be used for.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, very good.
So you kind of go over to the kind of alchemy section. You kind of pick up just one of the books that grabs your attention. See, it's Ankaril's Guide to Alchemical Formula. And you kind of flick through a few of the pages. It seems to be largely kind of measures of components and how to mix things, but you look through the index and find kind of Hydra spleens, and go and kind of read their kind of entries. And it seems that most of these rituals are spiritual in nature, or to do with kind of making it possible for one's spirit to visit other planes whilst not endangering the body.
Okay.
Ooh, I think I have a little spell that could make this spell a lot easier.
Oh yeah? Share with the group.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out one of my own eyelashes with a little wince and mix it in my left palm with some incense. And I'm going to go, Gum Arabic is a component for a spell I'm about to cast. It's often used in food processing, but it can also be found in certain brands of incense, like this. I pour it into the tiny boomer blade, and I put it over the homunculus. and I activate it. The tiny boomer blade casts a little illusion field over the homunculus, and he vanishes from sight as I cast invisibility on it.
Okay. So you guys watch as Torek fiddles around with this, but you see this kind of little contraption just kind of vanish in front of your eyes. If you focus really hard, you can kind of see the little distortion in the air from the boomer blade spinning, but like you only see it because you're looking for it.
And also, if I cast Detect Magic, I'm assuming we're going to stuff around the door. Do I get any idea of what sort of thing's going on?
Detect magic at what? At the door?
Yeah. Or the gate, I suppose.
So
and in that general direction.
You cast it at the gate, and you don't actually detect any magic coming from the gate.
Oh, nice.
That might mean there's an anti-magic field, but...
Okay.
Oh, well. Oh,
give it a go and see.
That gives me an idea as well. I take off the amulet and put it round the neck of the invisible homunculus. So I try to. I'm just like, there are you.
So you take a few attempts, but you eventually get it over. Of course, this disappears from sight as you let it go.
All right, we doing this?
Okay. So Rillin will be on watch, I suppose.
Okay. So,
unlike wizards, I do not have a telepathic connection with my homunculus. It'll have to take instructions from you, Triss, once it's in there.
Okay, well, come and stand near me, and you can relay information through me if needs be.
All right. Excellent.
Also, the fact that it's a little bit invisible, would I still be able to kind of technically see it to issue instructions?
Yeah, you'd know it was there, so you'd be able to kind of get that connection. Although it's kind of like a bit like dealing with a kind of an AI, so it's a bit clunky. You can kind of get rough instructions across.
Cool.
Speak to it in binary.
The sacred language. But okay, so Torek, this invisible homunculus stands ready.
All right. Go through the bars and tell and relay to Triss what you can find throughout the library.
So you don't see anything for a second, but then you kind of see this homunculus kind of fall flat on the other side of the bars with a little spinner stops and kind of falls before next to it, and the amulet kind of flies off over its head. Seems, Torek, you were dead on the money. There is indeed an anti-magic field.
Right. Yep. Torek, it might be down to you.
Yep.
Rillin just sort of looks up and looks around to see if anyone's been alerted to anything.
It wasn't a massively loud crash. It's not a very heavy thing. Just seemed to be in the clear.
But the head librarian's not got a secret alarm set off all of a sudden. Like he's not looking up or looking around. Oh.
You look to his desk and you don't see anything. You assume that the anti-magic field would probably nullify any such alarm.
Okay. Well, you'll have to retrieve him anyway. You won't be able to recall him through the field, so looks like you're going through, Torek.
Yes. No point. Do you reckon it's possible to cast spells into a net? No, that's stupid.
Well, once you're past the field, you should be okay.
Well, you say that. Oh god, I hope nothing goes wrong. I'm going to jump down, and I'm going to just straight on put on the amulet. Zoop, zoop.
Okay, so Torek, you kind of breathe in and kind of sidle through these bars. It's a little bit tight, but you kind of keep sliding in and you kind of pop through into this restricted section. And you kind of reach down and recover the homunculus and all your gear. So as you kind of turn to Triss and Rulin, you actually see that it's just a deadbolt on the side of this this lock. You could definitely unlock it from the inside.
Okay. Well, the amulet's on me, right?
Yep.
Cool. I'll relay the information to Triss and go, it's only secured by a deadbolt. Should I open it?
Let's do it. Might be better if we keep one of us out here, though, to keep watch.
Rulin will keep watch.
Okay, we motion for Yendorn to come over, and we'll loiter casually by the gate as Torek tries to open it.
Wait! I'm gonna look for any signs of alarm or trap attached to the bolt before I do that.
Mm-hmm. So you kind of take a very kind of small lens to it and have a good look. You can't see any kind of cogs or bolts or any mechanical components attaching to the bolt itself. It looks like it'll just be that one component of the bolt itself, and with kind of the knowledge that there's an anti-magic field at work, you feel a little bit more confident.
Yeah, there's not going to be a glyph of warding or anything. All right, let's. Oh God, why have I got a bad feeling about this? I unlock the bolt.
So the door opens, and Triss, you can now have access to the restricted section.
I'm in like a shot.
You're in, and I'm just
quietly
trying to mend my homunculus by the door.
So, Triss, you kind of see these kind of shelves lined with all these books, and this, you kind of think back, like if this were something you'd have access to in the days of your youth, you'd be living life like a noble right now. But those days are behind you.
Triss is mentally thinking, how many can she read or something?
How many you can read? Well, as many as you can find, really. But what kind of books are you looking for, particularly?
How big is it?
Restricted section goes on for quite a long while.
Right. Okay.
But it seems to be empty. So
I think probably we're going to have to go for any kind of information that they probably don't want us to stumble across on in the outside kind of section. Any dodgy ritual or anything about Kovtara. So probably deities, I think, if we can figure out why. Ow!
So
you've activated Crispy's trap, obviously.
A Hydra leaps out from behind the bookshelf.
Oh no, what's this doing here?
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
God damn it!
If only our barbarian wasn't at the pub having a skinful.
Listen.
But so you kind of look and you try to find somewhere related to deities and kind of rituals. You kind of wander over to a kind of section quite deep in, and you have a look, and you can see that a lot of these books are kind of quite old and dusty, and seems that they were written quite a while ago. They're all very kind of ornately bound in leather, which is a practice that's kind of gone a little bit out of fashion. But you can see that there's kind of one book that seems to be locked in a wooden case on its shelf.
Anything good in there?
So you kind of fish it down from a shelf, and you can see that the kind of a front of this book cover is kind of a very thick hide of some sort, kind of like a vellum, but more kind of cracked. You can't really read the the title because it's aged quite a lot. But you can kind of make out a few words, and you kind of you see the words elder and rituals.
Quick skim through. Is there anything that's jumping out at me?
So it's locked in that box.
Oh, right. Okay. In that case, I think maybe we might try and pocket it, or I might try and pocket it. I don't know who. How big is it?
It's a large book. You wouldn't be able to fit it in your pockets.
Oh shit. Yeah. Try and get Torik's attention as quietly as possible.
So Torik, you kind of hear it. Torik.
What is it? I'm fixing my what? Oh.
And waft the box around a little bit. How good are you at getting into things like this?
To that, I just turn my head and give a little corner of my mouth smile to her, raising my finger as it just opens up a load of lockpicking tools.
So, Torik, roll me a sleight of hand, please.
Ooh. Gonna take my added proficiency to this times. Can I take a ×2 bonus?
And why would you get that?
Because of the there's a artificer class feature. I'm just trying to find it. Sorry.
Yeah, no
If
worries.
not, I'll just roll. I'm just gonna.
I mean, we'll see what you get. You may not even need it.
Okay, that would be a +6 modifier, so up to 14 at the moment.
You hear a soft click as this lock opens, kind of freeing this book.
Ah, very nice. Ooh, I do have it. Found it. Sorry, it's in a really weird part of my character sheet. Tool expertise. My proficiency is doubled for any ability check using a tool I'm proficient with.
Yep. I had forgotten that was a thing. So yes, Tris, the lock is opened in almost a heartbeat as Torik just kind of puts his finger in. You don't even see him move his hand, you just hear a kind of whirring of something. Then these tumblers kind of click into place. So the book is now yours to open.
Okay, now I'm going to have a skim through and see
So
anything that seems immediately obvious to me.
You open the first kind of few pages and you have a look. You can see kind of a whole series of kind of mad scrawlings, kind of diagrams and pictures of something. You don't know exactly what it is. But you, as you kind of look, you kind of see the scrawlings on the paper begin to spin a little bit. Kind of start rocking back and forwards as you stare into these pages. And you realise just too late that these scribblings have formed a hand. And this reaches from the book and pulls you into the book. Torik, you barely even see this, but Tris disappears into the pages of this tome.
What?
Fucking books.
That little encounter is going to be resolved private DMs, so Pascal.
What?
So, is this a good time to flick to see what the others are doing in the pub? Well,
Yep. So the rest of you've kind of made your way over to this pub. You can see now that the library was right. It does seem to be kind of full to the brim of kind of these, what you assume, student mages in their robes. They're in quite dark.
Yeah, find some co-eds.
Quite, quite dark blue robes. And you can see that a lot of them are kind of drinking this kind of lighter, kind of pale elven beer. You get a few kind of heads turn as you walk in, but people kind of go back to their drinks and discussions. You can hear a lot of people kind of arguing. It seems that they've kind of got some assignment or lecture or some boring academic thing that they're all discussing. But you think you can probably get yourself a seat.
Is it quite a chill vibe, sort of just like very
It's
very mellow?
It's quite relaxed.
Cool.
Just
some smooth jazz playing in the background.
Get out my electric guitar.
So anyway, here's wonderful. So you pull out your bagpipes or drums?
Let's go drums.
Oh, what a knob. It's one of these guys.
So I need you to roll me a performance then, please.
Sure thing.
Oh, hit it, big guy. Give him the fucking goods.
Plus 10 modifier.
Plus 10!
Bards be good.
Oh!
27.
Oh!
You very quickly have the tavern in kind of just complete captivity. They're kind of all distracted from their studies and the discussions they were having earlier. Everybody kind of gathers around to listen to you kind of get drinks kind of almost thrown at you with how fast people are buying you drinks. Titus and Havel are kind of sat behind you, kind of making sure they don't go to waste. But the tavern gets very rowdy.
As things are heating up, Titus is going to try and sing along.
Roll me a performance, Titus.
Okay. Titus has a +0.
Well, at least it's not negative.
But it's not a -0. Bro.
What was that? Sorry, I was tabbed out.
That was a 25. Oh yeah, I didn't roll it. Shit. It type.
You cut out there.
He rolled a 3.
Titus, you kind of start up in a kind of traditional hunting song of your people. And it takes all of 5 seconds before someone hurls a bar stool directly into your face.
Who threw it?
Some kind of very drunk elven student. Shut the hell up!
I'm gonna go and grab him.
So you kind of just almost push Shug out of the way. And you kind of grab this scruffy-looking wizard by the kind of the front of his robes and just almost effortlessly lift him up.
I'm just going to whisper to him as I sort of pick him up. Do you know how long I have waited to punch someone in a bar?
As you say this, you look around and you see about 30 different spell books in hand, and they're all looking at you. You see the barkeep comes over. Oh no, let's both of you have a drink on me, and let's let this slide. We don't need any trouble here.
What does this guy look like? Like, does he look tough? Does he look, or is he like a little shit?
He's very tall and thin. Kind of looks quite snobbish.
Let's settle this like men, then. And I grabbed the beer that we got handed from the barmaid.
Okay. So the kind of gets your gist and kind of takes the kind of proffered jug. So I'm going to need a contested roll here. Constitution.
I'm not concerned. Oh, 14's good shit though. Bro!
Titan. You kind of see this elf kind of chug his beer. He doesn't get it all down in one, but he kind of finishes it, like kind of holds it over his head, kind of upside down. You hear the bar cheer. He kind of slams it down on the table and looks to you.
He said that he used the magic.
Not to be outdone, you pick up yours, and you kind of chug away, and you kind of down this faster than he does. But this is kind of a lot gassier beer than you're used to drinking.
No!
And you feel like nauseous. Like almost straight away, you throw this beer right back up onto the floor.
Oh, no.
You could hear like the entire bar just erupt in laughter, none louder than Havel behind you.
I just go boom on my gun.
and very, very quickly, everybody kind of turns away with the old. What's the point being that big if you can't hold your drink?
I grab the guy. You cheater! You do magic on this.
He turns. He kind of looks at you with disgust. I don't need magic to beat the likes of you.
I will smash your head like a pig.
I would like to see you try that when I am through with you. And you kind of see him kind of flash a magic book at you. Like he raises his robe a little and shows you as if he were kind of like flashing a holstered gun at you.
I am so sick of these books. I don't like Elf Place.
Don't worry, Elf Place doesn't much like you either.
Just fuck it. I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Roll me to hit.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna rage.
You're gonna rage.
Reckless. That's 20, non-natural.
So yes, you hit.
That will, if Titus is raging, his unarmed, when he's raging, is 7 damage.
Oh.
So you kind of hear this kind of little crunch as your fist just connects with this elf. Bear in mind that like your hand is the size of his head, so he goes down, and you kind of hear, "Oh, my nose! The bastard's broken bloody nose!" And like just like that, every mage in there is gonna cast magic missile on you.
And this is how Charlie dies.
So they all automatically hit.
Yeah.
So I'll be nice to you.
If you got stone's endurance, use it now.
I hear a lot of.
Yeah, I'm gonna use
I hear so many dice.
This is the maximum number of dice I can roll. I'm going to limit it to that. So you take 54 damage in just a volley of magical missiles.
Use stone's endurance.
Yes, you can.
Oh, this is fucking great.
So actually that's only, so you said it was 54, that's actually only 40 damage.
Only 40 damage. Okay.
Only.
Okay.
Nothing.
So you're kind of hit by this kind of wall of kind of force. It's like being punched by a ruler twice. But you kind of knocked a little bit off balance, and you can see that they've kind of stopped to see what you're going to do next. You can see that the barkeeper's kind of reached down under the kind of counter and pulled out a crossbow. Doesn't really know where to point it between. Like,
how small is this pub?
It's not a huge pub. It's probably only about 40 feet by about 20 feet.
Ooh, how many could I get? I'm so tempted.
I'm so tempted, dude. I'm so tempted just to kill every one of these little shits.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do Thunderwave as a
let's think about this. Let's think about this.
Should I?
The others are going to be so mad if we just start killing everybody and murder hoboing. So let's
murder hobo.
Titus is gonna like.
What's Titus
check his
gonna do?
nose.
Tell me. Let me see what Titus is gonna do first.
So Titus checks his nose, and his nose is bleeding, and so is the other guys. And then he's just gonna like cheer and try and break the tension and be like, "No!"
Roll me a charisma, Titus.
All right. That's actually his best stat, plus 12. I think it for his. Let's go, bro!
So you let out this cheer, and everybody's like kind of looks at each other for a little bit, and they see you kind of smiling and reaching for another pipe, and they don't mistake it for a war cry. So like they still keep their spell books in hand, but like after some minutes go by and you kind of keep drinking, they just kind of go back to what they were doing. They've kind of avenged their friend's honor a little bit by that kind of salvo they just unleashed on you.
I'm gonna be like, "What is your name?" To the little shit.
Ulvalor.
How do you spell
Ulvalor.
Valor. I'm gonna invite him to come and drink with us. I'm gonna be like, "You are little shit, but you are brave."
So he kind of looks a little bit well, you don't know what he's thinking. He kind of cautiously takes you up on that off.
And then I begin, to like sort of break the tension, I sort of like tell the story of when I nearly killed Havel.
So you kind of relay this story, and he laughs and chuckles a little bit. Well, that's nothing compared to that time. In that kind of freshman year. Oh, you should have seen it. It was glorious. We got Belber in, and me and a few of the others, we kind of pulled our mage hands together, and we lifted him by his underwear and hung him on the spire. You should have seen the look on the Archmagos's face.
Oh, I have met him. He is stinky and boring.
And he sets essays, but too damn long.
Yes. I don't know what that is, but I am annoyed as well.
Seems that he's found a sympathetic ear to listen to, so he's kind of goes along with it. All he cares about is the ethics of magic, as he likes to say. So
that's boring. I hate the ethics of magic, I say, and I cast what is it? Dancing lights, and some like torches start coming around me as I play my music.
Oh, sick.
So you kind of get the party started again, and again, the mood is improved yet again by this new party trick. Yes, that's what we say too. To damnation with ethics. What's the point of having powerful spells if you don't use them?
I hate ethics. They are far too small.
He kind of looks around a little bit. He kind of leans in a little bit and says, well, we have contemplated a little prank on him, just to lift the old man's spirits a little bit.
Ooh.
Well, we have managed to acquire ourselves a particularly odorous batch of new manure fresh from the farms. We were going to paint the college wall with it. The kind of grin on Titus's face kind of encourages him a little bit further. See, we don't much care for his method of teaching, and well, we've tried formally protesting and getting some real magic on the syllabus, but if you won't listen to that, then result to underhand methods.
Sounds interesting.
Titus kind of looks. Yeah, Titus looks at the other two because he knows he's not. Like, this is normally where Rulon would be like, no, we must. So he's like, not sure what to do. So he looks at the other two.
I mean, that sounds like fun. Is Havel around?
He's busy drinking his ale, but he's been keeping it near.
Havel's just been, casually picking the dirt from under his nails with his short sword.
As you do.
Sorry, what?
Far too large a tool for the task, but okay.
He's got something else.
You've got some filthy fingernails.
Got nothing better to do.
It's just Ranger things.
Hashtag just Ranger things.
So, just gonna throw it out there. In my experience, you do not piss off a maid.
They're the most fun people to piss off, though.
Okay, and when you're missing body parts later, don't complain to me.
Iron Tooth is right.
Fine. We'll just stay here and have a few drinks then.
Well, suit yourselves. And you guys kind of keep on drinking.
Someone heard of dragon jousting?
Meanwhile, in the restricted section of the library.
Oh god, oh shit, oh fuck!
Tarek, yeah, you've just seen Triss right next to you kind of set this, get sucked into this book, which is now laying down on the floor. You didn't see what happened. You didn't see any of the moving text, or even the hand that grabbed her. She was just there 1 minute, gone the next.
What is it, Tori?
Is Triss's book left over?
When you say her book,
Her focus.
Her
focus.
Her
No.
wizard's tome.
No, that was all taken with her.
Oh, God! She took one of my best inventions with her!
What is it, Tori?
Triss is gone.
Well, it's quite a large library. Maybe she's just moved?
No, I think she's gone. Like,
Rulon,
What do you mean, gone?
Rulon, you see the cloud librarian is kind of getting up from his desk and seems to be thinking of heading your way.
I'll run an intercept.
Okay, so you kind of go and kind of start some small talk with him, kind of ask him a few questions.
Ask him if he can point me in the direction of a book that's on the other side of the library.
So you kind of flick your mind back to a book you saw a distance away and ask him to kind of see if he has that book. And sure enough, he kind of leads you away. So you bought a little bit of time.
Okay.
You mean gone like my sleeping schedule?
I think she's inside the book. It's a very, very restricted book. Do we take it? Do we leave it? What do we do? 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 Ah!
Well, you cannot leave her here.
Oh God! Oh God!
Sorry, calm down. We will figure this out.
Luckily, I've just got the invention for this.
Convenient. Perhaps we shouldn't do this in the restricted area of the library, though. Should we try and get this somewhere else?
Okay. Okay. You take the book. I'll think of something with the. We don't have 10 minutes, do we?
Not here, probably. No.
I'm going to close the box that originally came the tome and lock it with my fingers. So, you know, there's no way, there's no reason to suspect the book isn't still in there.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of pass this book to Yendor and he places it up on the shelf.
What now?
I don't know. We've not actually got any sleeping arrangements in this town, do we?
Oh yeah, no.
Take it to our room. Huh.
Well, we have two options. We can either leave the book here and trust that Triss can find her way out of the book, or well, that would include having to sneak back in here. But the other option is to take the book with us and try and find a way to get her out of it.
Either way, we may need to come back to return the book. So, I cannot think of a better location at the moment. So, maybe it's best to find some hidden corner of this area and try and figure it out in there.
You're cutting out a little?
Perhaps it is best if we try and find some hidden corner or more secluded corner in this area and try there.
Okay. Sure. I'll take Yendorn with me and put the book on a desk somewhere. Do you want to take a look, or shall I?
First of all, you said, do we have 10 minutes? What was that for?
Well, maybe I could cast a ritual of identify upon it, but find out what we're dealing with here.
That may be a good idea. I could ritual cast silence at the same time to try and prevent anyone hearing what may happen in here.
No, don't bother. It's an anti-magic field. Oh, bollocks! Identify.
Yep.
Okay, we're left to our own devices. Only cantrips and whatnot might work. And artificial methods. I suppose I could try this. I take a finger of my left hand and just apply a small voltage to the spine of the book.
Nothing seems to happen.
Turn up the voltage a little.
Your fingertips start smoking, but the book does not react.
Okay.
Would it be best if we maybe try to join Triss into the book and assist her getting out?
That's interesting. God, I don't know.
I don't know how to get in there.
Well, my guess is, and I'm going to do it as I explain it. Well, my guess is you have to open the book to a random inconspicuous page, turn the book towards me, and eventually it'll, activate it and pull me in.
So, Torek, you kind of do this while you're explaining it, and you kind of flick through the pages, and you can kind of see these weird scribblings. It doesn't look to be any language you've seen. It's shares no kind of scripts with any of the modern tongues that you're familiar with, and it doesn't even match any of the writings of the long dead Tildrage.
Is it primordial?
It is not.
Oh dear.
It is illegible to you, but Yendorn, as you kind of watch Torek doing this, you can kind of see he's got a bit of a nosebleed.
Oh dear. Torek, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
Bleeding. You're bleeding.
I'm bleeding.
Your nose?
Yeah.
Torek, as you look up to Yendorn, he appears to be spinning.
What the hell are you spinning around for, man?
Keep your voice down. I am completely still.
Cleopatra, clearly not.
Torek, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
This is like going between watching two movies in two different rooms and having the hangover in one and then like Ouija in the other.
Torek, you kind of manage to steady yourself against one of these bookshelves, but you kind of realise that your head's spinning now.
Okay.
The first few drops of blood fall to the floor.
Well, I think I closed the book.
Mm-hmm.
We need someone with arcane blood. Maybe it'll work for you, but I believe that it'll only be negative effects like I think that only people of arcane alignments or blood can interface with this book properly. I can't make heads or tails of it. And that pisses me off.
Okay, I guess there's nothing to lose.
Swear to God, I'm going to teach myself every goddamn language if I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the book and I'm gonna flick through the pages, see what effect it has on me.
So, Yendorn, you kind of open the book and kind of stare onto these kind of arcane sigils and illegible scrawlings. And as you kind of gaze on it, roll me a Constitution.
Yeah, and that's a 14.
Ooh, I am going to use my new action. Haha! I activate a flash of genius to give him a +4 to this roll.
Okay, so 18. So you kind of read this, try and read this book. It makes no sense to you, but you don't seem to be as affected as Torek. You kind of feel a little nauseous, but you don't start bleeding and you don't have the kind of same bout of dizziness.
Well, it seems as though I'm still here as well.
I'm going to do something. I'm going to purposefully take my eyes off him. Turn around.
Mm-hmm. So you turn away from Yendorn.
Torek?
I then turn back around.
Yendorn's still there, looking perplexed at you.
Kind of figured it would be one of those things you read about in the fantasy novels, you know, it only takes you when no one else is looking kind of thing. Oh well. We should probably get, what's his name? The one with the bagpipes.
Shug.
Thanks. I'm not there, but
He does that to everybody, dude. That is.
Shug sneezes somewhere, isn't it?
Well, yes, I guess we have no other option but to take the book. I try and kind of how do I conceal it? I want to
wait. It might be in this anti-magic field for a reason. Taking it out might cause adverse effects.
Well, it's obviously powerful enough to ignore the anti-magic field and just pull Triss into it.
Maybe Triss jumped into it.
Oh yes. Um,
To be fair, it sounds like something she'd do. We could just leave it on this desk, see if she's around tomorrow morning, and then decide what to do.
but if she is in danger in there, then every minute may count.
Look, we can try and get Shug into the book, but apart from that, I can't think of anything else to do for now.
Yeah.
I say we go down to the pub, have a nice pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Guy just nominating Shug for the rescue mission just reminds me of that bit in South Park. No, Chef, don't sacrifice yourself. Oh, I don't want to sacrifice myself. No, Chef. No.
God damn it.
Suicide Squad my ass!
Okay, so what's the plan here, guys? Well, you a bit of time, but you can't hold off that librarian forever.
I say we keep it here and try and come back under cover of dark.
The door was magically answered. I'm not sure the cover of darkness will give us any.
Wait a minute, weren't there more of you in here? Says the librarian to Ruby.
Yes, my friends are still researching various topics. They're scattered all around the place, I imagine.
Well, we'll need to get them on their way soon. The library isn't open overnight.
Oh, certainly. Just a few more minutes. The Archmagos has approved us being here after all, and I'm sure he won't mind if we just stay a little bit longer.
Roll me a persuasion.
Oh, go on, mate. Go on, Cal.
Important roll this.
Party inspiration?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, that's
Hell
it.
yeah.
That we're down to 3, boys, of all the times to use it.
What do I add then?
Just rolling it again. It's basically giving yourself advantage.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's worth it.
Oh,
There
so
we go. So that'll be a 17.
Fine, you can have 5 more minutes, but then I'll want you out.
Of course.
Fuck! The party inspiration got us 5 minutes? Fuck!
Which is 0 minutes.
Better than being caught in a restricted section, yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Torek,
To make a name for the guild and end up almost murdering a bar full of students and breaking into the most sacred
I know.
And if that bar of students all have access to magic missile, then what do you reckon these higher ups have access to?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, but we made a buddy. All we know is we made a buddy out of it. So I'm not even worried about it.
And you haven't paid for a drink all night, so...
I think a nat 1 and then a nat 20 is more powerful than a nat 20, to be fair.
yeah.
It definitely gets you from a lower point to a higher point, yeah.
I have an idea. Yendor.
Yes.
Did she leave any signs of herself? Triss, did she leave a... Okay, what page was she flicked to? I'm gonna try and go to the page she was on and try and see if she left like any fingerprints, any hair, or anything in her wake.
You kind of flick through. Look, you can't visibly see any signs of Triss, but you can't really see fingerprints that clearly on books.
Okay, maybe a spell could help me find it.
Maybe it could.
Maybe it could.
Torek, I have one idea. That doctor I spoke to earlier, he seemed to have some sort of knowledge in interplanar and strange rituals. Perhaps if I could contact him, he might know some way of helping.
Oh, that's
Wait, I've got a better idea. I take out the empty vial that I used to take a sample of Trissa's blood.
Mhm.
I'm going to take a small cotton bud and get a small sample of her DNA.
Okay.
I am going to mix it with one of my potions of transformation and drink it.
Okay. You,
Now, perhaps, here's my thinking. If I transform myself into the arcane blooded woman. I didn't expect to grow these. I suppose I should have seen it coming.
I wonder what Triss's laugh is like.
that was great because it was cut off, so that's even better.
Yeah, good. So now
So
it
the laugh is just-
Fucking hell,
This
it's gonna be a
is the
difficult
most
one to recreate.
OP spell.
Pascal's so pissed.
This is the most OP spell in the game. It's just Toric's ability to set everybody's laugh.
I cast laughter terminate.
I'm so sorry. Right.
So you kind of turn into Triss. Yendorn, you kind of watch this happen. It's quite unnerving that he can do this, really. You think of all the possible things that Toric not only could, but probably would get up to with this ability.
Now that I'm 1 foot higher and quite more arcane attuned in the blood and the DNA and everything, perhaps I can integrate with the book a bit better. I do have one more potion of transformation if this works and you want to join me. I mix up the concoction and leave it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I open the book and look into it.
So you flick through the book's interior. It still makes no sense, but you don't get the nosebleed anymore. But you're not grabbed either.
Well, this is
It seems that the secret lies not necessarily in her blood.
Oh, come on now. Are you shy? I want to be grabbed too. Come on.
Well, I guess I'll try and contact the doctor.
Yes.
So, Yandorn is going to exit the restricted area.
Mm-hmm.
Find a book, just any book about, I don't know, the first one he finds about deities.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so you grab one from a shelf. It looks to be a fairly long tome about the kind of traditional elven funeral rites in the Ilfari Empire.
And I just sit down, open it, and pretend to read it, and I'm going to cast Sending. And I'm going to contact Pet Lemay,
Okay.
the doctor. And now I have 25 words. I'm just figuring out the words. So the message is, Pedlamir, it is the cleric from earlier. One of our parties seems to have been taken into a book. Would you know how to help? I think that's 25 words.
Mm-hmm.
You can respond with up to 25 words.
A book? I've never heard of such a thing. I don't know what I could do. There are no spells I know.
Hmm. I'm not casting it again to say thank you, but he hasn't.
Yendorn is Canadian, confirmed.
Dang it. Well then. I'll go back to Torek. There's nothing he knows of. I think the only option is for us to take the book and try and solve this as a party if we can get everyone else.
Now, let's think about this. What's the downside of leaving the book here?
We would have to enter a restricted area once again without being spotted.
I mean, we pulled it off once. I mean, there's a difference between breaking into the library and, removing the Eldritch Forbidden Tomes. I forgot I was female.
Yes.
You've done a crispy female voice.
Hello there, lad.
You want a phone? Yeah.
Hey up, lad. Hey up, Presidente.
Oh, well done, President. Yeah, no, it's something I need to work on. I will acknowledge that.
no, Crispy, we are. No.
At this point, I should probably just stop even trying. Just like, yep, this one is female. I'll pretend as such.
Dude, I've been trying to flirt with Yenva since day one, man.
Just brilliant.
You kill it.
Okay, so Rulin, you kind of get the librarian kind of quickly approaching you. Seems your 5 minutes are up. Of course, you haven't relayed this at all to the others, so you feel a little bit nervous about being unable to potentially stop him this time.
I'll say to the librarian, right, I believe they were over this way, and I'll lead them in the direction. See if I can fool him.
Can I roll a perception to see if I notice Roland walk past the door with the guard?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
That is.
Hang on.
Wait, is that that? It looks cocked.
Oh, zoom in.
Oh, it is. That was cocked.
That was cocked to me. It was right between the 2 and the 20 as well. I mean, are they next to each other?
It was, but on mine it was between the 2 and 17, but it might have been on my end.
It was cocked. Roll again. This is just where you get a 1.
11. So for perception, that gives me 16.
So Ruland's kind of talking quite loud. So you kind of see him leading this librarian off, but you can kind of see that the librarian is trying to herd them out, basically.
Yeah. Todd, did you just see Ruland? I think our time is up.
Oh, all right then. We'll grab the book.
So you kind of pocket, you grab this and kind of slide it underneath, I guess Triss's shirt to sneak it out.
This is rather naughty, isn't it?
You're just realizing this now?
In what sense? Okay.
Is he missing?
Is he what? Sorry.
Is he missing a finger?
No, he.
No.
Oh.
So
Did he theoretically take the potion of himself before he lost the finger and grew his finger back?
it's not a. You'd have to consistently drink it
For a short time, yeah.
Forever.
Could he take a potion of himself, cut his own finger off, transform back into himself, and then reattach the same finger?
No, because then he would lose a finger every time he made the potion.
Torik's kind of mad surgery might not work out so well for him if he tried that. Well, the surgery would get harder every time he lost a finger. But yeah, so you kind of hide this book as best you can, and kind of follow to where Yendorn's standing at the entrance, and kind of close the gate behind you. You hear a kind of soft click as he kind of the handles latch clocks into place, but you don't slide the deadbolt back.
Ooh. Oh, shoot. Do you think Torik could do something? I don't know anything like Mage's Hand, but...
That's an anti-magic field anyway.
Yeah, it's an anti-magic field. Oh! I really should have thought about this.
So you see kind of Rulin and this librarian coming back the other way, and the librarian, right, you two come with me. We're closing up for the night. You need to be out of here.
Okay.
Okay, fellow elf.
So Rulin will...
Don't call me that, half-blood.
Ooh.
Oh.
Whoa.
Rulin sort of looks at Yendorn and Triss and sort of wonders where Torik might be. And he's probably up to no good.
Yeah, you'd see that as not really out of the ordinary, but you would expect Torik to be off doing something underhanded. But okay. So you guys are kind of escorted out of the library, and the librarian kind of locks it up behind him. And then he kind of bids you a good night and heads out. So you're left in this kind of courtyard that's now empty. The kind of sun has set a while ago.
Well, what happened? Why did you leave Torik inside?
We didn't. This is Torik. It's Triss who is missing. Torik
Hello,
said...
Roland. It's a long story.
It's actually a pretty solid impression, dude. Holy shit.
Well, Rulin's a bit dumbstruck, but...
Well, Torik said she is in the book.
In the book?
Yeah,
yes,
she got sucked in. Or maybe pulled in. I didn't quite see.
Right. Well, maybe we should discuss this somewhere more private.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, so you guys will have heard Titus and Havel's and Shug's plans to go to this student bar, so you'd know roughly where to find them.
Yep. Yeah, we'll head out then.
Okay. So
Okay, sorry, Chris.
you guys make your way to the tavern. And you can hear that there's kind of a bit of an uproar inside. It sounds very lively. And as you kind of walk in, you kind of see kind of Shug just playing a tune on his drums, whilst kind of Havel and Titus are kind of up on one of the tables. They've each got like a kind of almost like a stein in their hand. They've kind of got their arms linked together, each kind of drinking their own stein whilst attempting to tap dance. It's not a very elegant scene. You can see the tables kind of swaying under the weight, and like drinks are being kicked everywhere. But the students are kind of cheering them on. Seem to be having a good time.
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I Where is Tarek? He would like this.
You always called me liar tooth. Oh.
The one time he's nice to you is when he's absolutely steaming.
He does like he does like liar teeth, really. Oh.
But yeah, you kind of ask him there.
Hey guys, have a drink. And I just like point at like the table with all the free drinks next to me.
There's quite a collection there, although you've all been doing your utmost to keep it at a manageable level.
I sort of go next to Triss and I say, Triss, Loudtooth is a great wizard. He can conjure drinks like a mage.
Really?
Probably a deception, guy.
I didn't realise Pascal was a Scouser. Huh?
That came
I was gonna
out
say,
all
that
wrong,
was not
didn't
like-
it?
Really? That was not. It's not Cameron.
The entire time, the only thing I've been hearing is that chicken from Chicken Little. I was like, I don't want to be a pie. I don't like gravy.
For me eyes, we're dead boring.
That's fine.
Titus, this isn't Triss.
Wait. And I like, because I've seen him do it before.
You've seen this before.
Wait.
Okay, you got
And I go-
me.
and
I'm
I
the
go-
Endborn.
And I go, oh my lord! What is this? Like, call over my college buddy.
This is mine now.
This Titus is a woman, and he kind of puts his hands around Torik's shoulder, and he says to you, "Just I won't mind that you're a half blood. I'll still show you a good time."
No! And then I'm like, no! This is a liar tooth!
I mean, he's pretty drunk and he just doesn't have a fucking clue what you're on about. But he sees that you're clearly kind of upset about something.
How long does Guy's potion last?
Good
That's a good
question.
question.
Alchemist spells, experimental elixir. 10 minutes.
It's
just about to go 10 minutes. So as this kind of very, very drunk elf is kind of leaning on you a little bit as he's got his arm around your shoulder, Tara, you kind of revert to normal.
I'm gonna try and impersonate her voice.
Including the height you are originally. So he kind of stumbles over this obviously support now taken from him. He kind of ends up on the pile on the floor. So it was what the hell is? You're a man?
And I start.
Sorry, sweetheart.
Titus starts screaming because he thinks he did the spell.
Yeah.
So while we were all drinking, Omavor was trying to teach Titus a spell, but because he couldn't read, it didn't work. And so now Titus thinks he did the spell. I did it! I did the spell!
But did you just polymorph? But you can't read. It's this elf thinks that you've just polymorphed. Chris into Torek. He's clearly very drunk because, like, you know, if he were sober, that would obviously make no sense. But like, he kind of calls to his buddy, "This hulking great beast just turned her into a gnome."
He does this to me all the time. I can't even remember my original form. I think I was a sheep.
So the pub kind of devolves into some clapping, some laughing, a lot more drinking. But this obviously then alerts the others that, you know,
What?
Torek is there, but Triss is now not.
What is Firetooth?
You're not going to like the answer.
It's probably not a story for public ears.
Rulin will head over to the barkeep and see about getting them some rooms. Or a room.
I'll say they're with me as I'm playing music and use my what's it called by popular demand.
Yeah, by popular demand. So you managed to wrangle yourself a kind of a room for you all tonight.
Bro, that is in Crispy's world. That is going to save us tens of thousands of gold.
So Rulin gestures that they all go upstairs to maybe get a bit more privacy.
Okay, I'll be back. I'll like shout over the crowd like I'll be back tomorrow night maybe, and then grab a drink and start heading upstairs.
Yeah. So you guys kind of make your way upstairs to this room. Again, it's kind of what you'd expect from a reasonably kind of not affluent, but not particularly dodgy tavern. Like the beds are comfortable. You've got a reasonable amount of room. But you kind of close the door behind you all. And the kind of the noise of the tavern is surprisingly well insulated.
Okay, now that we're in privacy, I have a new experiment I could do. I've just proved that I can turn into a woman. Now, what happens if I turn into a woman temporarily and get pregnant? What happens when I revert to a man? Will I still be pregnant?
I'm not going through with your fantasies. Just veto that right off of that.
Tarek, we have more important things to discuss.
Oh yes, almost forgot.
So
I put the book on the bed, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So the rest of you who haven't seen this, you look at it, and it's this kind of thick book bound in this kind of cracked, old-looking leather with a few kind of illegible scribblings on the front. It looks old.
So she's in the book.
Yeah. I don't know if she was pulled in, sucked in, or jumped in. I wasn't really paying attention. I was fixing my precious homunculus. How is he doing?
Seems to be functioning.
There's a good boy.
Now that he's
I tell you not to read these books. Oh, fire tools.
Rulin will take a look at the book, see if he recognises anything about it. Was there a title to the book? Or?
If there was, it's long since faded. Only the words "elder" and "ritual" remains.
It's written.
Interestingly, the title seemed to be the only thing written in common.
That's what I was going to say.
But yeah, it is. It is a little bit, isn't it?
So she was reading the book. She didn't say anything to you, Tarek. She just disappeared.
That's the long and short of it, yeah. You know what she's like. She was bounding off to the books before you know it, picked off the first one she liked, and, well, yeah.
Rulin will open the book and take a look at it.
By the way, they definitely are going to find out we broke into the library.
So, Rulin, you turn pages and you flick through these scribblings. You've got a kind of a reasonably decent education, good background, but it's not something you've come across before. In kind of the same way that Torek doesn't recognise the languages, you can't seem to put anything together too. Roll me Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god, it's just occurred to me. That secret room had a bolt on the inside that could only be fastened from the inside. And it was fastened shut when we got there. Was someone in there with us?
So, Rulin,
Well, I found no one.
unfortunately for you, I saw that one. So, as you kind of read this, you start to kind of get this kind of gnawing at the edge of your mind, as if something is as if somebody is kind of whispering into your ear from only an inch away, but behind you. You kind of spin to look. You see nobody there. Everybody else, you kind of look and see Rulin kind of quite wide-eyed, and you see starts of kind of froth forming at his mouth, and you can even see there's some blood coming from his ears. Rulin, the book slips from your hand, and you kind of start convulsing a little bit.
Rulin!
Titus, you see obviously Rulin in this condition, and I imagine probably run to grab him.
Yeah.
So you kind of support him a little bit and kind of guide him over to a bed and lie him down. Seems that medicine check for me,
yes.
please, Yendon.
Medicine check. It's 23.
It looks like Rulin's having some sort of mild seizure. You think you could probably nip it in the bud with a cure wounds?
Well, when better time to use a cure wounds then? I won't roll it.
Yeah, it's
healing because it's...
Yeah. So you kind of lay your hands over his ears, and kind of this light emits from him. You kind of tell Titus to kind of hold his legs down, stop him hurting himself with any kind of convulsions. But over the next few minutes, you kind of keep applying this light, and slowly Rulin kind of starts to settle a little bit. He finally kind of comes to a state of unconsciousness, but you're happy that he's in no further danger.
Not my books! They are bad!
Yeah, we need to keep this book until we get Triss back. Tight.
She is stuck in there?
Yes, unfortunately.
So, is this happening to everyone who reads the book? They have a seizure?
Well, I felt kind of nauseous, but I did not have a seizure. Nor did Torek. He did get bleeding from the nose, but
I did get a little
otherwise
sticky.
unaffected.
How come Triss got sucked in and not you guys?
I don't know,
Torek?
probably rolled a nat 20 or something.
Well, Torek theorized that it may have been due to arcane blood.
Yes, it's not strictly the blood, unfortunately. I removed that when I tried to enter the book with Triss's body, or a crude duplicate, I should say. It was an interesting experience. Anyway, Shrug, why don't you have a read?
Sure.
He does it to literally everybody, dude. It's
After you just had a stroke. Why do you think I'll be any different?
Not read the shotgun.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Like he solved it pretty quickly. Maybe I can help. I'm pretty good at everything, so maybe I'll be good at this too.
I'm also very humble.
I'm also the most modest of people.
Trust me, no one knows more about Eldritch Tomes than me. Ask anybody.
Ask anybody.
I'm the best.
Oh, I haven't told you about this part of my backstory, but I actually spent a long summer in an Eldritch school.
That sounds like the title for some really niche, shitty anime.
A long summer in Eldritch school.
Edge Down followed by high school is probably an anime.
Okay, so Shug's going to step up. And
Yeah, I guess I'll
take
give
the
it a
book.
try. Why not? See what happens.
So you grab this book.
Maybe it's written in Orcish. You never know.
The feel for this kind of leather binding makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You glance over at Rulin, and then you kind of take a deep breath and open the book. You read, or you try to read the first page, and you see these kind of arcane symbols, and you see just mysterious scratches. Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, lovely. What am I on? +3.
Had to
Not
be-
that that matters. 6.
You kind of start to feel sick to your stomach and an impending sense of dread.
I guess I'll close the book then.
You kind of close the book and kind of put your hands over your mouth. This obviously is exacerbated by the fact that you've been drinking most of the evening.
Yeah,
But you sit down very quickly and do your best to try and not vomit.
Yep, I don't think it's an Orcish. I'll hand the book back over to Torek, I guess.
Well, we tried our best.
Here, let me try. And I'm kidding.
I would shrug and hand it to him.
No, I'm kidding. He wouldn't.
There would be a certain poetic irony to the only one unable to read being able to decipher this, wouldn't there?
Turns out it's written in Goliath.
Oh god.
You couldn't even read that though.
Why
Goliath don't write, yeah.
Why don't we ask our new friend Titus? Maybe he knows something.
Yes, he is genius and brave warrior. We will ask him by law.
So Titus, you grab a book and go and try and find him?
No, because there's Triss in there. I don't want to hurt Triss. I'd leave that with one of the smart ones and just go and find Dumbledore.
Okay, so you go...
The only smart one has been sucked in.
You stumble down the stairs into the tavern and see that like a lot of this drinking has now kind of gone beyond the stage of recovery. They're in it all the way now. You can see several of them have like their shirts off and are kind of chugging beer, kind of spilling most of it. You don't know why. They're students, but you go and find all the law kind of propped up against a wall, kind of legs straight out, kind of head, chin down in his chest, kind of snoring a little bit.
I grab a beer off of Shrug's table, Shug's table, and throw it on him to wake him up.
He wakes up with a start. What? When he kind of licks the kind of liquid around his mouth and goes, And kind of, you see him just reach across the table for a stein, but kind of just falls flat on his face.
What the? You? I grab him and lift him up. I need your help. And like try and be, when someone's drunk, but like all of a sudden they sober up because they know shit's bad.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to make a wisdom save to see if he realizes that's what you're trying to do.
Probably pretty wise. It's probably I imagine a +8, 9.
Well, unfortunately, as a student, that's actually a negative wisdom modifier.
Oh, come on!
He kind of grins at you. Says, you want another match? I'll drink you under the table again.
Okay.
Tell me, where did that little thing of yours go? The one with the half-blood?
Titus is really sad all of a sudden and stands up and like heads back upstairs. He's in like problem solving mode. He's upset because he knows where she went.
Was it something I said?
I got disconnected then.
Oh, we can keep going. There's nothing on the table for a while.
Well,
so you make your way back out.
Titus is sad now because he really likes Firetooth. This is his tribe now.
So the rest of you kind of see Titus coming in, looking a bit glum.
Except Rulin, who's still unconscious.
Except Rulin, who is, yes, still recovering.
I just go back over to Rulin and like check on him and sit down quietly, and I'm like upset.
So you kind of keep an eye on Rulin. He seems to be breathing normally and sleeping peacefully.
Toric, would it be worth trying that identify spell you were going to do earlier?
What?
You were going to identify the ritual?
Oh God, of course. I mean, science, of course.
Okay.
I ritual cast identify on the book.
So you kind of set this book up and go about your ritual. This book is the almanac of the elder gods and aberrations and their rituals of contact.
Oh. Yeah, this is the almanac of the old gods and ways to contact them. Oh no. Triss is talking to an elder god, isn't she? Can't help but feel I should be terrified. Troubled. What do you think? He is disconnected. Sorry, everybody. Technical issues.
Science be praised. So Toric kind of reveals this to the rest of you. Even you, Titus, get a sense that this can't be a good thing.
This is just sobbing. And like, he's having a bad night. Rulan's unconscious. Triss is missing. This is the worst.
I'll pass him the beer that I brought up with me.
He downs it. He downs it.
So
and then grabs, shrugs, sleeve and like wipes his nose and there's tears on it. Oh no!
Let it out, and I just pat your head.
So it's getting on now. It's quite late. Probably approaching about midnight, 1 o'clock-ish.
What do we do?
I suppose the best thing we can do is get some sleep, old chum. Pat him on, like, the thigh, I guess, from my stature.
Yeah, probably. Just give a supportive tap on the kneecap.
I wonder if Yendorn's going to jump on the opportunity and sleep in a separate room to Torek now that...
Yendor's sleeping in whatever room the book is in.
So you've kind of been given this kind of one large room by the innkeeper for the night. But yeah, if that's a plan, Torek, you kind of head over and find yourself a bunk. Kind of hop in.
Where'd you put the book, Torek?
I don't care. You take care of it. I've done everything I can. Everything I can think of for now.
Okay,
No point
so
fretting over something I can't help.
is there some sort of like table, sideboard, or anything at the back of the room, like away from the door?
There's kind of like a bedside table there.
Yeah. So on the bedside table, I placed the book, and then I'll sit down and whisper the word protection, and that was me casting my new level 4 spell, Guardian of Faith. So for 8 hours, if any creature hostile to me moves within 10 feet of the Guardian, it takes damage, basically. So I cast it right next to the book, and it's just going to protect us for the night.
I guess I'd like to ritual cast Alarm, if we're doing that.
Okay, so you go about casting Alarm and setting that up while Yendorn kind of utters his prayer.
Holy shit! Just looked up Guardian of Faith. Holy shit, dude! God damn.
But clerics are healers.
Yeah. The clerics are beasts. That's what.
Haha, go bang.
I was gonna say, crispy DM, just like, no, you can't just heal and be the best DPS.
Yeah.
Rich, breaking the game. Go.
Tell you, if Yendorn ever dies, like you guys are going to be back to fighting mud crabs. It's
like that unwinnable encounter we came across when I cast Guardian of Faith, and Crispy was like, "No, counter spell, not Guardian of Faith, it's Spirit Guardians." I was like, "No, that's being counter spelled. That's too strong."
That's why I love wizards, because it's just like, yes, I know all your tricks. So I know that magic is a bit.
To be fair, the Silver Mask guy is fucking dead when Titus next season.
You got fairly close when you first saw it.
Yeah, I fucking know, but I didn't. Piece of shit, dude.
Something tells me he's leveled up a few times since we last met him.
I'm sure he fucking has.
Insert anime training montage where I must get stronger. Okay, so let's get back to the room. So you've cast this spell, Yendorn, and Torek set this alarm up. So whilst you're still obviously concerned for Triss's well-being, you've done kind of what you really can here. So you kind of head to bed. Okay, so you guys kind of go, kind of get some rest as best you can. It takes
Titus sleeps by Ruland's bed.
Mm-hmm. So it takes a while to get to sleep, but eventually you do. I need to be woken a few hours later by a blood-curdling scream. Everybody you snap awake instantly. Rulin, you kind of open your eyes blurrily. You're still a bit unsettled, but you're kind of healing nicely from that. You all turn kind of in the middle of the room, kind of sat on the floor. You can sort of see Triss kind of sat there. Kind of hair is completely disheveled. She's kind of breathing really quickly, just kind of staring into the wall. She doesn't respond to the initial cry. Just kind of keeps focusing on one point of the wall and just hyperventilating.
Titus hugs her.
She starts to kind of snap back to normal now. Kind of looks at you a little bit. Seems to recognise you there.
What happened?
She just stares vacantly up at you.
Her microphone muted.
Discord just pooped itself. She doesn't say anything yet. She's just kind of clutching Titus and clutching around her stomach. Just sort of shakes her head. She's still like breathing super heavily. She's not in a great place.
Titus, you kind of look to the book and see that whilst it was lying closed when Yendorn went to bed, it's now opened.
Titus kicks it across the floor.
It kind of scurries across the floor with force of your kick and comes to stop against the door frame.
No more books! No more reading on libraries!
Best idea I've ever heard. Would you close that book and put it back in its box? And maybe we should burn it.
Triss, are you hurt? Are you okay?
I don't think so. I'm okay, but I don't think I'm going to be reading any strange books for a while.
What happened in there?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I went somewhere, and the thing that's been watching me in those dreams was there. I don't know. It wants me to do something for it.
And that would be?
Killing Hydra?
It wants me to watch.
Sorry?
Okay.
It wants me to watch. Gave me an eye, and it wants me to watch things. I don't feel all that great about it, but I didn't exactly have a choice.
What?
Triss is gonna pull up the front of her top and have a look at her stomach.
So the rest of you, you kind of see Triss kind of raise the kind of the front of her shirt up halfway, kind of where her belly button used to be. There is now a kind of a fist-sized eye, closed, kind of at 90 degrees to what a normal one would be. And as you watch, the eye opens. Where the whites would be is just black, the likes of which you've never seen, with a kind of pulsating green iris in it. So everybody is going to take D6 psychic damage, bar Triss.
Oh Holy! Okay, is Titus rested or not? Because he took a lot of damage after the buff.
Yeah, so you will have got your rest first, but now you've all taken 5 psychic damage. You kind of all reel in horror at this thing, and you kind of hear these malevolent whispers, or at least you think they're malevolent. You can't hear what they're saying, but it doesn't sound good. Just in the back of your mind, like not loud, but just a constant presence, like the kind of the sound that a cricket would make, perhaps, just there, where it should not be. So, Triss, as this eye opens, actually, you kind of get this really weird take on the room. Like, it's the kind of a color drains from the room, and you can kind of see everybody there, but you can kind of see the skeletons within them as well. And you can see that this clearly, this new gift or curse is going to have a profound impact on you.
Fucking one game of Call of Cthulhu in Crispy's life.
How's that for D6 sanity damage, guy?
Now off you fuck, run away! But no, the eye looks for a while, but then it closes. And the whispering stops.
Triss is going to tuck the front of her shirt into her pants. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again by accident.
So
The third statue we made the sacrifice to, was it Triss who put the sacrifice in?
Yes.
And I may be mistaken, but that statue had 3 eyes, correct?
Did it?
Did it?
Did it?
That's why I said I might be mistaken. I might be wrong.
It had a plethora of other animal parts that she's hopefully lacking.
Yeah.
Bro, everybody knocks Titus's notes, but
I don't think it is Kopara.
wing, claw, tooth, long tentacle. It was a central statue. Had the head of a lion and had 3 eyes.
Oh, interesting. Well, this fella didn't call himself Kovtara. He called himself Rantigoth. Or at least I think that's how you'd say it in common. Yeah, I don't think they're the same.
Rantigoth.
Or at
I've heard
least-
that name before.
Madame Shayla told me it when we went to see her after I had that dream.
Yes, she did.
Looks like he's interested. He's taken a personal interest in what's going on down here.
Some kind of knowledge-based eldritch abomination who wishes to simply watch and observe the happenings of this realm. How disgusting.
Yeah.
What time is it?
So at this point, it's probably about 3 in the morning.
I'm gonna try and get some kip.
So Torek goes back to bed.
It's not a bad idea. Is there a bed anywhere?
There isn't. Because the keeper obviously didn't see you coming.
Oh shit, yeah.
I did sleep on the floor by Ruler, though.
That's true. So, in which case, the bed usually or that was allocated for Titus would be vacant.
You get the fucking king size.
Reinforced.
Ironclad bedpost, yeah.
It's a bed with foundations.
God damn it. I've left more furniture in my wake than I have creatures, which...
Okay, so Triss, you kind of make your way over to this vacant bed and plop yourself down. But your mind is obviously racing with all you've just uncovered. It takes you a while to get to sleep, and it's not the most restful sleep you've ever had. But you don't get any nightmare.
Pleasant relief.
So the rest of you try and get your rest of your sleep in. And it's not too long. It's only a few more hours before sunrise. So you kind of wake up with the rest of the city event for the new day, and I think that's probably a good place to call it because we don't have time for the next instalment. It's 11:15. So.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Holy shit, Crispy! What a change of pace, dude.
Yeah, well,
This is all because we did stuff to that. I'm calling it.
Yeah,
Completely changed his campaign.
Dude. Yeah. God damn.
Alrighty, well, I'll save up here. Good session, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, Titus, another social one.
Oh!
Another one with books.
That was sweet, though.
That
I
was
don't
good.
know. I feel like Titus made a good ally that session. That was a good sesh.
Just Titus's just career is going to be going to different taverns and making new friends.
Yeah.
The real loot.